Welcome back. It's Doug MPA, another live stream. Normally I go live on Sundays, but I had something coming up this Sunday, so I'm going live. It is Monday, July 29th of 2024. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate it. You guys see the thumbnail on this one. We're going to talk more about these women and their student loan debt. No, their debt payoff journey. But you guys know I'm going to sprinkle some student loan debt in there because it's my favorite thing to talk about is women with student loan debt. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the crime files first, as always, and we're going to do an update on that woman uh, uh, that took out that girl in the church's chicken parking lot. You guys remember that? So they actually caught that woman, and she's in court, and she thinks that the case should be thrown out. That's right. So we'll see what that's about. Then I found this woman who's made so many bad mistakes with her finances that she's cash only. So we're gonna go over that. Then we're gonna start getting into some student loan debt stuff. So like the video, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. Drop a comment if you're listening to this after the fact, and hit that super chat button. All super chats are appreciated. So guys, like I say on all my student loan debt videos and debt videos, don't get with a woman that has a whole lot of debt, guys. Don't do it because it's not your problem. And then a woman's debt is a reflection of her decision making process or lack thereof. So don't get involved with a woman with a lot of debt. Your emotional, mental, and monetary health are at stake, you guys. Don't do it. So let's get into the first article here. We're going to talk about being broke. Let me share my screen here. Share my screen. Oh, okay, here we go. Share. Okay. So this first article is about being broke. Okay. It says almost 50% of Americans consider themselves broke. So this is going to give us a general picture of what's going on out here in 2024, because this is literally May 23rd of 2024. It says high levels of inflation, record household debt, and average salaries not keeping up with the rising of costs, the rising cost of living, are having a negative impact on Americans' overall feelings of financial security, according to a new Market Watch Guys survey. In fact, nearly half, 48.6% of Americans consider themselves broke, our report found. And about two-thirds of Americans, 66.2%, are also report feeling they're living paycheck to paycheck. 66.2%.
Jesus H. Christ.
Gosh. In many ways, Americans are becoming more financially responsible, with younger generations putting more in their savings account every month and talking to each other about money. Still, feeling financially secure seems to be out of reach for many. The research team at Market Watch Guys surveyed 2,000 Americans to gauge generational attitudes about money, including how many feel financially insecure. Read on. Okay. So, guys, key findings: 48.6% of Americans consider themselves to be broke, and 66.2% feel they're living paycheck to paycheck. There's a gender gap in the results because, of course, there is. Females are more likely to consider themselves broke at 55.8% compared to males at 41.1%. Americans report needing an average of $17,430 in savings to feel financially secure, despite the average annual salary being $61,659. Americans say they need a salary of $73,785 on average to feel secure. So, what do we think about that, guys? Sounds about right. So, this is what you be this is what you should be shooting for. All the young guys listening to this, a salary of 73,785. Says two-thirds of Americans say they are living paycheck to paycheck. Feeling broke can mean different things for different people. To understand what makes someone feel this way, we dug into the financial situations of those who consider themselves financially secure. And while we discovered many feel okay, and while we And while we discovered many feel having a financial cushion is an important part of financial security, a significant number of Americans feel they are barely making enough to get by. Okay, so we're talking about the 66.2%. The financial situation in particular was strong among Americans who consider themselves to be broke, with 92.1% of them of this subset reporting that they're living paycheck to paycheck. Financial insecurity also varies by gender. Females are more likely to consider themselves broke. Okay, so what does it mean to feel financially secure? Our survey found that Americans need an average of $17,430 in savings to feel secure. And then I guess on average, $73,785 is the sweet spot of what people want to make. So this is the desired salary per age group. Guys, remember, Gen Z is 17 to 27, millennials, Gen X, baby boomers. So I found this woman here who is all cash because she made such horrible financial decisions, you guys. All cash. So we're going to listen to her video because her channel is called Amanda's Budgets, right? And let's see how she gets through life on just cash. Let's hear her story. Let's go.
Hey everybody, this is Amanda from Amanda's Budgets. I'm here to do...
Colin, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We're talking about more women on their on their debt journeys, and I was just trying to cover women with being broke, but my favorite thing to talk about is student loan debt. So we're going to talk about student loan debt after we see this woman here is cash only. She's a single mom. She's broke, cash only, and she has this budget YouTube channel.
I'm sure this will be enlightening.
Oh yeah, and just so you know, try and guess the percentage of women that don't ever budget. Try and guess.
I would say probably just shy of 90%.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna get a
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, 47% of women don't budget. 47%.
Don't budget at all, huh?
Don't budget at all. Have no idea how much is coming in and how much is going out. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah. Well, that's actually even more disturbing than the number I said, because the other 53%, they are so reckless with their money that they actually try to budget and they're still that reckless.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And they're still broke. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's look at this woman and how she got into only doing cash. Listen to this.
Some debt paid down. I'm really...
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Amanda from Amanda's Budgets. I'm here to do some debt paid down. I'm really super excited because I haven't been able to roll this dice on camera most of this month because this month has been crazy busy for me. There have been events in my area. There have been concerts in my area. I have been really busy with my kiddos. I had one kiddo go to camp.
Of course, she's a single mom, guys. Of course she is.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom.
Tattoos all over the place. Yikes.
And I have literally just been going. I feel like a rat in a wheel. Okay. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Amanda. I'm 35 years old. I live in Oregon and I'm an all cash budgeter. I do cash stuffing, sinking funds, savings challenges, all on a low income.
Have you heard of any of that, Colin?
No. I was actually, one thing I was about to say was I will give her credit for one thing so far. She's obviously not spending $200 to $300 every month on those rat claws. So
yeah, hey, you know what though? She's white and she lives in Oregon, so you know what? I wouldn't give her too much credit because I don't even think a a lot of women do that in Oregon. If she were to be, yeah, I'm from Memphis, and she did not have raptor claws, I would give her credit for that, man. And then
Yeah,
and then look at these tattoos all over her arms and her hands, man. Come on now. Oh no.
yeah.
Yikes.
I do mostly budgeting videos. We talk about the nitty gritty. There is a lot of negative talk on this channel because there isn't a lot of good, positive things going on in the world right now. We're dealing with inflation. We're dealing with super high priced vehicles, super high priced housing. Interest rates are out of control. Food is double the cost that it was last month.
And she's right, guys. I live by myself. I used to be able to go to the grocery store for $60. I can't leave the grocery store shopping for myself, but for less than $100.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I-
Oh, you know what? Even worse. I went to the gas station. I bought 2 Gatorades before I went to the gym. It was $7.40.
Jesus.
Oh my God, I know.
Jesus H. Christ.
I can't even begin to tell you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to make your own light. Okay?
Women, of course.
So I got myself a little flashlight out with this whole binder system, made myself a light, and we are going to work on our principal payment towards our vehicle. So a lot of people complain on this channel about my car payment. Your car payment's high. Well, when I went into Kia to get my car serviced last month, okay, I was there for 5 hours. Do you know how many times somebody tried to sell me another car in that time? Trade in your car you have. For what? What would be the price? I asked one of the guys who is a salesman, I said, what's the average car loan these days? And he said, well, if you have immaculate credit and you have a certain amount of money down, and when he said a certain amount, I'm assuming he meant more than $500 because the way his
it's more like 4,000, 5,000 nowadays, you guys.
eyes lit up. He said that the average car payment for a used car is anywhere between $680 to $790 a month.
Jesus.
Yeah, for people with badass credit. Yeah, because I bought a new car in 2022 and my car payments were $480 a month. But I paid my car off in 2 years. But yeah. So, but I can kind of see what she's saying because there are more people with car payments over $1,000 a month than ever in the history of the United States, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Also, a lot of people rolled their negative equity over into the new loans. So,
Can you even think of a car that you pay $1,000 a month for?
no.
Yeah, I couldn't do
No.
it, man. No way. Nope.
A new used car. The car that was in the showroom is the exact car I drive. The exact car I drive. For work, I do gig working in it full time.
And that's like Uber Eats. Dante Fernando, good to see you. He says woman element symbol, WO, the most powerful income producing agent known to man. That is 100% true.
It had a little tiny bit less miles on it. They are selling that car for $15,000 more than what I bought my car at in their showroom as a new used car. I bought mine brand new, folks. It got unbubble wrapped in front of me. So a lot of you guys who are new here do not know how I ended up with this car. I was struggling to pay my bills about 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago now. I was working a fast food Golden Arches type job. If you know where the Golden Arches are, then you know where I was working. I was sick in December of 8 years ago. I went to work Everybody got influenza A. Someone came in to work with influenza A. I then proceeded to get my family sick because that's how it works when you live in the same dwelling, folks. The only one that didn't get sick was my oldest. We got sick bad. I took time off that I could not afford. My then ex was unemployed.
Of course he is, and I guarantee you, that's the father of her children. I hate to say this, but how much you gonna bet, Colin, that her kids are half black? YouTube, I can say it, I'm black. But how much you want to bet her kids are half black? I guarantee it.
Father of one of my children.
Of one of her children. So,
definitely, for sure.
Of course, man. Of course. All the telltale signs.
And he was waiting upon unemployment. We were really super down and out. We ended up not paying our rent in December. And then at the end of December, we were able to come up with the rent. We begged, borrowed, did what we could to get that rent paid. We were like, one more holiday in this home. One more. Please, universe, give us one more holiday. Christmas rolled around and I was crying. I had our tiny tree up. There was no gifts from us underneath this tree. And at the time, I didn't realize that was not important. What was the most important thing was that we had a roof. Okay.
And, I was going to say this, guys. So many people whose childhoods were just like this, man. Where your mom is just struggling, just making stupid decision after stupid decision.
Yeah.
Well, she's working at McDonald's and had a kid already had a kid and had another kid by a guy who had no job and was waiting for unemployment. And it's funny because as these women give the testimonies, like Kevin Samuel said, it just sounds worse and worse the more you speak and the more that I talk to you. And this is another one of those cases, guys. And struggling is all her kids are going to remember her doing as they grow up. Colin, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. In fact, actually, you may have heard me kind of, make a few mentions on AJ's streams about my mother who passed away. It was now like a year and 8 months ago or whatever, blah, blah, blah. One of the things that, quite honestly, I'm still angry about to this day, and probably always will be, is I almost, as a little kid, I almost never had dinner. Like, no dinner. Like, she, in fact, actually, she didn't even really feed me hardly at all because I would go to school, and then after school, I would go to a, I guess you would call it a babysitter or a daycare, type of gig where I would get one good decent meal, and that was basically it.
There's a kid in my middle school, and okay, if you had to if you got in trouble, you'd have to stay after school. And if they had any extra lunches left over, they keep them in like a hot lamp kind of thingy, and they would give them to the kids that had to stay after school. So he would constantly get in trouble so he can have food for the evening.
Wow.
Because black kid, because his family was so poor that they just didn't have food. So the only time he ate was at school.
Yeah.
For lunch, and then in the afternoon.
Yeah. That's one of the things that that really is in the top 3 of things that really chaps my ass. Like, it makes me so angry is when I go to the grocery store and I see, I see some female creature, and she's got 2 or 3, even 4 little bastard kids that are obviously malnourished. Their clothes are all ragged and too small. Yet you look at the woman, and
And
she's
she's like 400 pounds, right?
exactly, like she ain't got no problem putting $2,000 worth of food in her own mouth, but you
Or
know,
she has or she has a handbag and that long flowing weave on her head, but her kids are all skinny. Dude, there's nothing worse, man. I know what you're saying.
yeah,
Awful. Yep. It's
yeah,
gross.
Okay. And mind you, I knew this. I knew this years ago. So I was thankful. We had a roof. We had food. We made a nice dinner. We were on EBT food assistance.
Of course she was.
I'd just gotten back to work the week of Christmas. Well, because the Golden Arches decided that because I was sick on the accord that someone at work came in with this and the whole store was sick as well, that I was going to get my hours cut because I had to take some time off. You took time off that we just didn't have to give you, Amanda, because I was sick. Just so you are aware, I live in a state where it's called a right to work state. So this right to work state can hire and fire without telling you a thing. No, I did not get fired. I went to the schedule and I looked at the
So you guys know 27 states out of the 50 are right to work states.
yeah,
list of names. I had
And it says, okay, right to work laws which prevent employers from requiring employees to join or pay dues to a labor union as a condition of employment. And also, pretty much that they can just hire you and fire you as long as it's not illegal or unethical.
a total of 9 hours, 3 3-hour shifts. Amanda, if you come in for those 3 3-hour shifts, we will give you more hours next week.
And guys, your goal should be to get a job where you're not going by the amount of hours worked. You
Yeah.
gotta get a salary position, man. This whole if you have to try to get more hours in a week, you're losing.
The hours didn't come back. I had, yet again, 3 3-hour shifts. In my area, we are a tourist area. It's after Christmas. There isn't a whole lot of work. Things go to die here in the wintertime in my area of Oregon. I live in, it might as well be Hawaii of Oregon. Okay. So here I am, pretty much on the brink of homelessness. January comes around. My rent is due on the 1st. My rent is due. I can't pay it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My electricity is due at the same time. This is a final notice because you didn't pay last month. And last month's bill was pretty high, and this month's bill already came out, and now it's extra high because it's cold and you're running the heat and all the things. Okay. So we get an eviction notice 3 days after non-payment. Non-payment then went to 10 days. I'm scrambling to.
I don't know if I've ever met someone in real life that's got evicted. No one I know. Or maybe they haven't told me, but have I ever had a friend that's got evicted out of an apartment or a house? I don't think so. I don't think I surround myself with those kind of people.
It takes actually quite a fair bit of time to get evicted. Like what she was just talking about, the 3 days, that's a pay or vacate notice. That means the court is not even involved yet. Then if the landlord then actually has to go through the trouble of getting an attorney and actually starting to file documents with the court, you can at that point I'm pretty sure in Oregon, because it's so similar to Washington, at that point you can still pay or make arrangements. I mean, even even without all the eviction moratoriums, dude, here in Washington, dude, it takes like, if you can get somebody out of your place in less than 3 months, dude, you got yourself one hell of a good attorney.
Yeah. How much does how long does the average eviction take in Oregon? Yeah, well, it says evictions in Oregon could take anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess Oregon's on it. Dang. All right, let's go.
Try to figure out this rent situation. Not only did I already borrow and pull everything I could to pay the previous months because I was sick, but I had no credit cards. I had nothing. We weren't paying rent online back then. We were just paying rent with either a check, a money order, or you could go to the main office and pay there, which if you paid cash, they wrote you out a statement stating that you paid cash. So I ended up going to what's called mediation. Back then, mediation's different than it is now. Mediation now is so hard to get evicted, folks. So hard. So when we went to mediation, I explained to this gentleman, I'm like, listen, the holidays just happened. We got sick, all the things. He's the judge. My friend is also in mediation for a possible eviction for same reasons, except for she lost her job. So we drove together. We're both sitting in the same courtroom. There's a whole line of people. I mean, a line.
And I guarantee you, most of them were women. I guarantee it.
People.
And single mothers at that.
Yeah.
Same thing. What are you here for? Mediation? You're here for mediation? Oh, you're here for mediation? Well, mediation happened. They bring you into a room with the head honcho of the place that you rent from, or your landlord. Mine was the head honcho. He had never met me before, didn't know me, didn't care about my situation. My landlord didn't even show up.
And that's the thing. Like, why do people think that landlords have to give a damn about your situation? Why? They want the rent. That's why, I felt so bad for all those landlords during the cough who had to go a year or sometimes 2 years without receiving rent. So that they had to pay the mortgage on their property while there was someone living in their property for free.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, Colin, having multiple properties? Let's say you have your house and you have two rental properties, and from 2021 to 2023, both people on your rental properties both were giving you nothing. Could you imagine?
No, not really. No.
It happened though. It happened a lot.
I know.
Shoot, I'm telling you, man, no way.
Okay, I lived here in this apartment for almost 8 years. I said 7 in a video a long time ago. It was almost 8. Okay. And so I'd never been late other than the time in December.
No one cares.
And I was like, listen, gal, I've been paying half my rent and then the other half of my rent 4 years now. That's how we had to do it. We were low income. It was what it was. And the person in mediation basically said, you got 24 hours to pay this. Ooh. So I went and talked to the judge because I was displeased. And the judge then proceeded to tell me, some people don't get to stay in their home, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Jesus H. Christ.
Said it right to her face. Yeah, you know what? Some people are just going to end up out on the street. And guys, look, these single moms, they think that. Look for it. Why do they think that people are going to give a damn? Why? Single mothers are the most entitled people in society right now. Tell me I'm lying.
Yeah.
On the dating market, on the housing market, on the consumer market. Oh yeah, I have children. So what? I think she honestly walked into that courtroom into mediation expecting some kind of sympathy. And I guarantee you that judge was a man, because if it was a woman, who would have gave her a little bit of slack.
I'm like, how? I've got 2 little kids. I got myself and my significant other. We're not married. Doesn't matter if we were married or not. I'm married now to someone else.
Oh God. Oh God.
So she has 2 kids by 2 different guys, and then she married another dude.
Beta.
I know that guy has to be a winner. Imagine what kind of guy would do that. Marry a woman with tattoos who's cash only, and has 2 different kids by 2 different men. I'm just hoping that her kids are going to be safe in the household with that guy.
Went from Pookie to Nug Nugs, and now she's with Ray Ray.
Exactly. And guys, you know the person that's most likely to harm a woman's kids is the man that she brings into the house. A little boyfriend she always has over is the one that's going to be touching the kids. Isn't that awful to think about? But you know, that's what the stats say.
Yeah.
So we had an eviction. Eviction led to homelessness. I was driving a beater car. I'm talking $1,000 cars. I have been a connoisseur of $1,000 cars or less. I found one time a 1991 Jeep Cherokee, Jeep Laredo, one of those white boxy old Jeeps at a junkyard. And I drove it until the electrical did not work anymore. Okay. That was a $700 car. I got it at a junkyard. There was nothing really wrong with it. The guy got towed. He didn't have a license or insurance. I'm assuming he'd been working on this rig, because when I brought it in to get an oil change, like, the guy's like, hey, there's a lot of new stuff in here. And he knew lots about Jeeps and Broncos and trucks. And he just talked and talked.
All right, guys. I was planning on going through this whole thing, but I'm not going to lie. I can't handle this anymore. I was going to go all the way to, because I was planning on going to about 20 to 25. Let me move through this real quick, because this lady's voice is getting on my nerve. You know what it is? It's because this is just calling. What makes up a broke person's mindset? What do you think? What are the characteristics of a broke person that you can think of off the top of your guys? Put in the chat the characteristics of a broke person. What do they do or not do to keep themselves broke?
Number one, the biggest thing I see is never-ending victimhood mentality. Something's always somebody else's fault.
Yep, I would agree. 2, having kids out of wedlock.
Well, yeah.
That's like the number one thing that'll make you broke. 2 is that. 3, expecting people to understand your situation. The world doesn't owe you understanding. The sooner it's like people think that understanding is a currency that will replace real money. It won't. Especially women. Yep. Pirates is overspending, no savings, put themselves in debt, and never own up to their spending habits 100%. Dante in front of Purgatory says, spend like there's no tomorrow, 100% true. Yep. Let me fast forward a little bit, guys, because people with a broke mindset just fucking piss me off, man.
Choice. Just unfortunate things. I've been asked that a lot. Where was your family? My family is my friends, my husband, and my kids. That is my family. Okay? So here we are going to this car lot. And he's like, listen, Amanda, you got to get a car. Your car is not going to start. I'm like, well, let's see if we can get it towed. He's like, Amanda, it's dead. It's done. And mind you, I'm crying at this point. I had never in my life had a moment where I'm like, I should have listened to that mechanic, because the mechanic said that if I didn't get that whole list of things, that whole slew of things done, then I wasn't going to be able to drive the car along. And it would just absolutely die. So I call the mechanic shop. I tell them what's going on.
Let's move forward.
And this mechanic, hey, I ended up getting a truck. Okay. I needed a truck. I was living on a bare piece of property in a travel trailer at the time.
Of course, she was living in a trailer.
I needed a truck to haul water, to haul groceries, to haul my solar equipment, to haul gas. I was using a generator, all the things. I'm homeless, folks. I have no hope of getting into an apartment. I had been evicted, court evicted. Court eviction means 10 years of not being able to possibly rent. And if you find somebody,
oh my God, you guys. So if you get court evicted, you can't rent another place for 10 years?
Most likely. It depends on the landlord, but most like 98% of all landlords, whether it's individuals or like corporate owned apartment buildings, yeah, if you have an eviction on your record, they're just like, nope, go away.
Yikes, man.
Even in some states, from what I've heard, even Section 8 landlords can turn you away.
Because of an eviction?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, let me look at that. Can Section
I've heard. Don't quote me on that, but
be refused because of an eviction? An owner must not refuse to renew a lease solely because of a. Hold on, let me see real quick. Refused. It's not saying right on the search page, so I'm not gonna go into it. But that's interesting.
Damn lucky. Okay, so I'm in this loan place, this little loan cubicle at the dealership. They sell me a 2017 truck. It's a Ram 250, big truck. And I'm thinking to myself, how did I get this loan?
We're all asking that question. So I was just about to ask that. Like, she's homeless, living in a trailer, but they gave her a Ram 2500.
Look at my friend, and I'm like, how did we pull this off? He's like, Amanda, you've never had a loan. When the guy pulled my credit, you guys, he was like, this girl has never had a loan before. Never had a loan. Never even, he's like, you don't even have a student loan, ma'am. Are you sure that this is correct? So that's how I ended up with my first loan. My vehicle, my truck, had electrical problems. I hadn't even had it 60 days. My truck had electrical problems. I brought it in. I traded it in. And they said, well, ma'am, you can get this 2020 Kia Sportage. So I did. Then, not even a month later, I ended up living in this car.
You see how it's just a calamity of errors, you guys.
Yeah.
What did she take that truck loan out for? Why? And now she's living in a Kia Sportage. Guys, you know what? We're going to move to the next video, because this is like, one thing Doug and PA can't understand is broke people in a broke mindset. You guys, I'm sorry. This is insanity. And you got to stay away from women like this. You have to. Because she needs someone that's going to stay down there in the muck with her. You cannot advance in life with a woman with this mindset. You just can't.
Yeah.
Because she's living for the now. She's been putting fires out for so long that she doesn't know how to not do it. Guys, stay away from women like this. I was planning on going through this whole video, but I can't just listen to her calamity of errors. It's gonna piss me off. So you know what? If you guys want to see the rest of this, I'm gonna drop this in in the chat. But I just can't, you guys. I can't. No, stay away from broke people. I could already figure of a couple different things that she could have done differently. No way. All right, let's go to this one real quick. This is more my style. Just broke people, man. Yikes.
Is anyone else sweating? Now, I know I'm not the only one with an anxiety-inducing amount of student loan debt. And I'm guessing you maybe clicked on this video because you're one of those other lucky individuals as well. Before I dive in, I feel like it is important to say that I know some student loan lenders have been a bit predatory in the past, but I take full responsibility.
Look at this tattoo.
Yeah.
And the nose ring, you guys. We know. Come on now. We already know where this is going.
For every single time I signed on the line of every one of my promissory notes for all of my student loans, even though I had no idea how that would impact my future for the next decades. Today's video is an update to my debt journey video that I posted about a year ago, and it is by far my most popular video, probably for similar reasons that you just clicked on this one. But since it's been a year now, it feels appropriate to give an update as to
Did you
where
see that? Her video thumbnail said that she had $250,000 in debt, you guys. $250,000. Jesus.
Jesus H. Christ.
Ugh.
things are at now. And for being honest, my editing in that video was pretty horrendous. If you're new here, hello, my name is Rachel, and I'm on a debt journey to get out from underneath an overwhelming amount of student loans. And I'm sharing that journey just because I want to be a little part of the voice that says you're not alone in your journey, and your student loans do not have to be a life sentence. In fact, I'm going to be sharing my top 3 tips that have helped me survive and even put a little dent in my student loan progress. But before we get to the tips, let's first outline how we got here. Now, this may age me a bit, but we're taking it all the way back to the spring of 2008 when I graduated from undergrad.
Okay, so I'm watching this for the first time, but let's try and guess. I hope she says it, but I hope she says what kind of degrees she got. Guys, try and guess. Put in the chat. Try and guess what degrees she got before we continue. I haven't watched this, but you know my 7 guys: psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, some kind of studies degrees. There's gender studies, African American studies, Asian studies, communications, and education.
I'm
So what do
gonna
you think, Colin?
I'm gonna guess a combination of psychology, looking at her background, and psychology, and with some kind of tie into some form of gender studies.
Okay. Reggie Gamer says underwater basket weaving. Reggie Gamer, I keep saying it's lesbian dance theater, man. Get it right. Jesus Christ.
Jesus H. Christ.
Where underwater basket weaving was back in like the 2000s and the 2010s. We've freaking gone way past that. It's lesbian dance theater.
I had $25,000 in student loans, but I also had $14,000 of credit card debt. That fall, I got a job making around $60,000 a year, and I was able to pay off all of that credit card debt by putting myself on a debt relief program. And in that time, I also managed.
Oh God! Yeah.
What are those?
Those are when you see the commercials on TV where they're like, "Do you have more than $10,000 worth of credit card debt? We can, call us and pay us, $1,000 or $2,000, and we'll get it reduced down to like, 3 or 4." The problem is when you do that, that's just as bad as having a bankruptcy on your credit report.
Is it?
Because what happens is the companies, whether it's American Express or Capital One or whatever, they do what they call a settlement agreement, and then basically whatever portion that they write off, the company will write that off as uncollectible bad debt on their own taxes. So, i.e., you and we end up paying for that basically, and it gets reported on your credit report, and it has the same damage as having a bankruptcy on your credit report.
Oh wow, you taught us all something, Colin. I had no idea because I saw those commercials right after the Everett College commercials. Hey, you! While you're sitting on the couch, don't you want to do more with your life? You remember those commercials? The Everest College
Yeah.
commercials. Yeah, but I always wondered what happened if you call those debt relief things. It couldn't have been a good thing because, guys, nothing's for free in this world.
Yeah.
And nothing just goes away. Huh? Yeah, I learned something new. Good. I'm gonna give you a round of applause. So now you guys know. Don't ever do a debt relief program. Don't do it.
Put a small dent in my student loans. In the fall of 2010, I decided to go to grad school because I thought that would be the best way to try to get a better job. And of course, I picked a private grad school based on the false promise of an 18-month master's program, as well as a very flashy welcome brochure. In the spring of 2015, I finally graduated much longer than 18 months later with a total of $211,584.67 in student loans.
Oh my God, you guys!
Jesus H. Christ.
Well, I'm going to plug these numbers into an interest calculator. Holy smokes.
What's this woman's name? All right, guys, I'm going to look her up on LinkedIn. Let me see. Rachel Hickey.
So let's see. We're just going to round it up and call it 212,000. And all student loans, they vary from
LinkedIn
8 to 12%. So let's say she got lucky and she got 8%.
Oh, she's not on here. Go ahead.
So her best case scenario for her monthly interest alone, just the interest, is $1,360 some odd dollars. Let's say she's probably getting screwed and she's closer to 12%. And just the interest alone is over $2,000 every month.
Oh my goodness! Yikes!
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my God!
That's a fucking mortgage payment.
God, yikes! A Conquering Wanderer in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Steve M. How you doing, buddy? This lady has $211,000 in student loans. Yikes! Pyro, how you doing, buddy? What's going on?
I'm doing well, man. I just been watching a lot of videos lately on these topics, especially your videos. Like I usually go way back, like to see where you started coming right up, and I see you've grown a lot lately, and I really want to grow myself too. So I kind of learn from you, AJ, and Chris.
Yeah, the key to it, guys, and here's the thing. I'm gonna spill some of the sauce, you guys. Okay, if you want to start creating content, if you want to become a content creator, you need a good microphone, a laptop with a graphics card,
Yes.
right? And then a good internet connection. Get Shotcut to do basic editing and get freaking OBS. And guys, just start posting content. Just you'd be surprised. Like every single video I've had has blown up. I didn't even know that it would hit. I'm like, whoa, like why are people watching this? You know what I'm saying? And then talk about something, guys. AJ and I, we talk offline all the time. I could talk about Red Pill content all day long. I do all day long. It's what I'm honestly passionate about.
Yes.
Try and find, like, this doesn't even feel like a job for me. because I enjoy doing it so much. And here's the thing: I've been researching red pill. Like most guys, we don't take the red pill orally. It gets shoved up our freaking rear ends, man. And that's what happened to me. You know, I got divorced in 2016. I divorced my ex-wife.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the red pill, man, you know, it was there waiting for me, you know, and I've been studying. I didn't start posting videos until about 2 years ago. But you know, I was a mod on some bigger channels. I was helping bigger channels write. I was writing scripts for their channels and stuff. And then you know, I didn't really think that I could get big because you know I have a stutter. But then I literally saw Fresh and Finn. I was like, bro, come on, I'm better than him.
Yes.
You know what I'm
By a
saying?
huge mile.
Come on. So, but yeah. So, then AJ convinced me to start doing videos. But guys, in the short of it, just start posting videos, guys. Post things on what you think is interesting, and I'm telling you, it'll happen. And post a video every single day, even when you don't want to.
Yeah. I should start doing that
Yep.
again.
You can schedule videos out. So, you know, have a day where you try to do like 3 or 4 in a row and then like schedule them on different days. Yeah, but the net of it is just start posting content, you guys, because there is an audience out there. This whole, oh yeah, the red pill's done. No, it's not. Because modern women are going to keep being modern women.
Yes.
You know what? It'll go away for a little bit, but you know, every couple of years, you have a whole new crop of guys getting the red pill shoved up their behinds. And you know what? And channels like all of ours are going to be sitting here waiting for them. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So let's get back in. In fact, everyone, if you haven't subscribed to Pyro's channel, please do. You know, go to his channel, give him a sub. I'd appreciate that very much. Raymond, thoughts in mind? Yep, he said old lady with a nose ring. Yeah, she's also $211,000 in student loan debt. You guys.
Oh.
Yep, $211,000. So let's go.
A used car loan, and revolving credit card debt for a grand total of $231,678.64.
Ah, she's cooked, you guys. She's cooked. Yikes.
Yeah, she's done. Done.
Yep. And so her latest update debt paid off 100. Okay. Updated debt paid off to this day 142,849. Debt paid off, left is 70,978. Now is she paying this off by her? Oh wait, no, that's on her right hand, not her left hand. Because I wonder if she found some simp to marry to help her pay off her debt. Because that's what happens a lot of the times, you guys. That's what happens. Don't be a simp. Don't pay off a woman's debt, guys. Don't do it.
Debt. That is peak awesomeness. And then that fall, the better job that I got was working for the state of Florida for $32,000 a year. So yes, I 10x'd my debt and halved my salary. I'm gonna let that sink in because I did say that correctly. I 10x'd my debt and halved my salary.
So she had to have gotten a degree in like social work or something like that. I guarantee it, man. That's the only way that happens.
And then 2016 was just not a fun year for me. It was the epitome of living paycheck to paycheck. I was doing the swipe and pray every time I went to the grocery store, and I was sharing a studio apartment in a less than safe area of the city with my boyfriend at the time. I ended the year with $225,123.98 of debt. $6,554 paid off, and that was all towards my credit cards and the normal monthly payment on my used car loan. Meanwhile, my student loans just continued to climb. In 2017, I had the same job, and in August, I finally got a raise to a whopping $36,000 a year.
Why would you stay in a job that only pays that amount for that long? Why? It's because women care about titles and their passion more than they care about money. That is the difference between men and women, you guys. Oh yeah, Steve M. Yep. Go ahead, man. Uh, 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 push your channel. Push your channel in the chat because he's been one of my day one supporters, man. So go right ahead. As long as it's not about anything crazy, though. Raymond says, "No wonder they keep electing Democrats." You are 100% correct. Carlos X in the house. Let's go.
I ended that year with $224,204.56 in debt. For those curious about the math, that's $919.42 paid off that year, despite having paid just under $13,000 towards my debt. Right? Year after year, compound interest just working against you. I also realized that public service loan forgiveness plan was just not going to be enough for me, so I decided to make a change. In February of 2018, I got the job that I currently have now, and I was so broke I had to borrow $3,000 from my brother to cover the security deposit and first month's rent just so I could move here. Throughout 2018, I paid off all of my credit card debt. I paid off 4 private student loans that had horrible interest rates, and I paid off about half of that used car loan that I had left. I ended the year with $216,881.09 of debt, of which $211,966.84 was student loans. In 2019, I paid off that used car loan, and then I ended the year with $197,356.44 in student loans. So things were finally getting paid down, and that's just because my monthly payments were much higher since my salary was much higher than previous years. However, in late December, I actually bought a new car because that used car.
Of course she did. How do you buy a new car when you're $197,000 in debt, you guys? How? It's crazy
I
time.
don't know.
Like, oh, you guys.
Car that I had just paid off no longer passed inspection. In 2020, I had paid off that new car by summertime, and I actually had an emergency fund for the first time in my life, thank you to the student loan forbearance. And then I ended the year with $185,900.22 in student loan debt. In 2021, I was able to save $30,000 to put towards my student loan debt, and I also bought my first rental property in December.
You guys, you bought a rental property with over $160,000 in student loan debt. What? It's like I got how, guys? Like, what? It's criminal that these institutions would still lend to her, knowing that she has that much debt still.
Yeah.
So she probably put herself another $200,000 or $300,000 in debt because of her rental property.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
God, you guys, come on.
I got overzealous about the impending end of the student loan forbearance, so I actually put $25,200 of that $30,000 I had saved towards my student loans. So I ended the year with $160,700.22 in student loan debt.
So you see how she's avoiding saying what her mortgage is. She's just saying her student loan debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they extended the forbearance again and again. And here we are in 2022. I am working on saving or paying down another $30,000 towards my student loans, as well as rebuilding my emergency fund since my rental property ate all of that last year. But on a happy note, I'm now making rental income that I'll be saving every penny of for a down payment on my next property. Now, while I still currently have a mountain of student loan debt, I am way more calm and at peace with my financial situation. And that's because I got incredibly lucky to have this high-paying, soul-sucking job, which, by the way, I did not even need a graduate degree to get. But
there you go, you guys. There you go.
Oh,
Most people with master's degrees, they say half are working jobs that don't even require a degree to get it.
uh, just to backtrack, you brought up the rings. Um, she does have a ring on her left hand and both the right. So, um,
Oh, does she?
yeah, I just noticed it. Yeah, see if
Oh,
you look.
but it's
Yeah.
on the middle finger though, not the ring finger.
Oh. Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, yeah. Well,
Or maybe
okay.
she's wearing it on the right hand. I don't know.
I know
Yes.
that it could be maybe she in like Russia and the Eastern Bloc European countries, it's actually the right hand is where they wear their wedding rings. So
Oh, really? I didn't know
yeah,
that. Huh. Okay.
By the way, I did not even need a graduate degree to get, but there's also a few key things I've done to help myself along the way that I probably would have needed to do anyway, even if I hadn't been able to steadily increase my income over the last 4 years. I think going through those years of panic and scraping by really helped me with this first and what I think is the most critical tip, and that's continuing to live as if I were still making $36,000 a year. I did not inflate my lifestyle to the max of my new income, and I have not done so even as I've gotten raises over these last 4 years.
That's sensible advice. Now, how many women are going to listen to that? Because, guys, one of the biggest differences between men and women. Women feel entitled to a lifestyle. Men do not.
yeah.
Right when a woman gets out of undergrad, right when she gets out of grad school, she has to get a condo, she has to get a new car, she has to go on vacations, girls' trips, all this garbage. Raymond says, oh, wait, he says, I can't stop looking at that nose ring. I do not understand why women think it's attractive. Bro, even worse than that is a septum piercing in the center of the nose. I could handle this if I had to, but when it's that bull ring, nah, it's automatic no for me. There's nothing worse. Well, I don't know what's worse, guys, a septum piercing or those long ass ugly eyelashes. What's worse?
Ooh.
That's a tough one, right?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'd say they're equally bad.
Make sure to like the video, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that super chat button. I'd appreciate it. All donations are appreciated. Yeah, I still go for the septum ring. So, at least she has it on the side here and not in the center. Ugh.
Avoiding lifestyle creep has been hugely impactful for me. In fact, I have downsized my living expenses since I moved here in 2018. I started in a house, then I moved to a one-bedroom apartment, and then a studio apartment. I've gotten a little more expensive with this one-bedroom apartment I'm currently in now, but I only did that after.
Hey, you know what? Another thing I got to give her credit for. She has a rental property. It's probably a house, but she lives in a one-bedroom apartment. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
I eliminated all of my high interest debts and got well established in my savings and investing routine. The two biggest things you can do to increase your disposable income that you can have to put towards debt every month is increase your income and decrease your expenses. Not everyone has the ability to increase their income, so maybe decreasing your expenses is going to be the bigger thing for you to focus on. And I know that takes work and discipline to slowly incorporate better financial habits into your daily life. And speaking of those habits, jumping on the Transfer Tuesday bandwagon has been incredibly helpful to build the weekly habit of actually taking steps towards my financial goals instead of just haphazard.
All right, I don't want to hear her little tips thing here. So yeah, apparently she's on her way because she only has $70,000 left. Now this one, look at this. I owe over $275,000 in student loans. My student loan debt story.
Wow.
And of course, it's a B-dub, you guys. Of course, guys. Student loan debt is a gendered issue because 70% of the student loan debt is owned by women, you guys.
Yeah.
If you're a successful, competitive man, right when you reach about 35, all the women, like, most of the women around you are going to have children, and they're going to be in more debt than you. So, so you got to be vigilant, guys. No single mothers ever. Don't date with them. Don't sleep with them. Don't marry them, and don't mess with a woman with a lot of debt. You guys. Yeah. Yep. There you go, Raymond. You say if you're over 30, you still have student loans. Forget it. MGTOW Cowboy in the house. Ooh, one of my OG subs. Good to see you. He says blah blah blah. Pay your bills, live below your means. 100% true. Yep. And Raymond says, "Oh, brother, I'm 35. Trust me. Trust me. It's a wasteland. Hey, guys, I'm 43, single, no kids. Believe me, it's rough out here." All right, let's see what this girl has to say.
Hello to all of my gold diggers out there. This is your girl.
Oh,
And by the way,
no.
her channel is called The Gold Digger.
Oh.
Jesus H. Christ.
Let's go.
Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger, and today I am coming to you to talk to you about my 6-figure student loan debt. Yes, and I did say 6 figures. 6 figures of debt. It is just
So, based upon how she looks, she probably has a sociology degree, and
Yeah.
then like a master's in leadership or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like a sociology major. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Did she
I
say
agree.
it? Let me see. Did she say
100%.
it? Wait. Okay. At least she's married. I'm a wife, a mom, entrepreneur, and a business owner. On a journey to be debt free. And what is her name? She says Rita. She doesn't say her last name. Dang.
crazy. The amount of debt, of student loan debt that I have, and that is not even all of my total debt. It's just crazy. I'll have to come to you with another video about my total debt, but the student loan debt is definitely a large majority of my debt. I do have some business debt as well with me opening up my own business. So like I said, this doesn't even encompass my whole debt. So just as I'm telling my story, just think this is just a little teeny, I won't even say teeny. This is just a little piece of the pie, but I still got some stuff to do. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I went to undergrad, had about a little under $20,000 worth of student loan debt from undergrad to get my 4-year degree. When I was going to college, I don't know if this was y'all's thinking or if this was just me or during the time that I was coming up, student loan debt wasn't really looked at, like it was some bad thing. Like I didn't think anything of it. I just thought that.
Oh, because she only got $20,000 in undergrad. And that's the thing. I got my undergrad for less than $20,000. So she's probably like late 30s, maybe. Because guys, I don't know if you know this, but from 2006 to 2020, college tuition has increased by like 300%.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. I saw that stat the other day. Yep. So from 2006, when I graduated my undergrad, to 2020, it's been about 300% increase.
That was something you had to do or you were likely going to do in order to go through school. Now, I did get a scholarship, or I did have some scholarships when I was in undergrad, but undergrad kind of kicked my butt and I lost my scholarships.
Wait, hold up. Look what Conquering Warner says. Doug, look at all the buy now, pay later financing. Professional women are loading up on vacations, furniture, airline tickets, Amazon purchases. The industry has ballooned rapidly since. What? What? Buy now, pay later. No, this is a whole industry.
Oh yeah.
What?
They're doing it for groceries now too, like Klarna. What's it called, Klarna? And there's another one where these knucklehead broke single moms, they can go to the grocery store, buy or get $120 worth of stuff and split it into 4 payments.
It says, buy now, pay later, a short-term interest-free credit option for retail purchases is becoming increasingly popular, and evidence indicates that its use is significantly higher among financially vulnerable consumers and disproportionately high among women, Black, and Latino consumers. Will color me surprised. Of course. At roughly 9%, as of fall of 2023, the share of all consumers who are using buy now, pay later is still relatively low, but it has increased about 40% from 2 years earlier. Buy now, pay later is offered by retail through payment platforms such as Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay. Consumers can use the service to make online and in-store purchases and repay only their purchase amount in installments over a short period. Typically 4 installments over 6 weeks. Consumers do not pay interest as long as they make the payments on time. But what happens if they don't make the payments, though? Doesn't it sound like
they probably get stuck with like a 29% interest, something like that?
Doesn't that sound like a payday loans all over again?
Yeah.
Yeah, because guys, there's sweeping legislation to get rid of payday loans because it was so predatory. And you guys want to hear one of the craziest things ever? So I went to UNLV, right, Vegas, and going to college in Vegas was as fun as you think it would be. It was awesome. And so when you went to the casino, right next to the ATM, there was a machine. It looked like an ATM, but it had a phone on it. And you can get a payday loan or a title loan in the casino.
Huh? For real?
Oh yeah, man. For real. Yep. They had to pass a law against that too. It says while buy now, pay later provides consumers with flexibility and offers attractive payment alternatives, concerns have arisen about the potential risks to consumers who accumulate too much debt. Most BNPL companies recently tightened their lending criteria in response to rising delinquencies. So it says, yeah, man, odds are they have all sorts of penalties for if you don't pay that debt back. Yikes, man. Ugh. Yeah, because there were title loans, payday loans, and what else, Colin? Were there any other kind of predatory loans that were all over the place? Just mainly title loans and payday loans, right? What other ones were there?
And I can bet like all the people who fall for this are women.
It has to be. I hate to say it, but come on now. Ugh.
After my first year, and I worked really, really hard to get my GPA back up or whatever. When I graduated or whatever, but yeah, after the first year, I definitely had some student loans. Now I wasn't getting refund checks and stuff like that. Like some.
Oh yeah, yep. Luigi Gaming said it. Those freaking title pawns. Yep. Go to the pawn shop. Yep. Those were bad too. Pawn shops, you should do that all the time. Yep.
Some people, but yeah, I had student loans and I went to an in-state college and that kind of thing, and I still came out with about $20,000 worth of debt. I'm looking at my numbers to see the exact amount. I think when I consolidated my undergraduate debts, and at the time I consolidated, the amount was like 17,000. So there we have that. But that's like I said, I had 6 figures worth of debt. So you're probably wondering, like, where did these 6 figures come from? So I am an optometrist. I went to optometry school, and
oh, you know what? I stand corrected. So
what is an optometrist?
Optometrists are, they check your eyes. They do vision.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So now, guys, put in the chat, what's the problem with optometry? What's the problem? Let's look it up. What is the salary of the average optometrist. So optometrists make a median salary. Oh wait. Yeah, so between 110 and 150, 69 to 160, 70 to 160. But here's the thing. Optometry, it used to be more exclusive before every single major retailer has an optometry department. It's completely watered down the profession. Just like pharmacists. Before Walgreens and all these pharmacies opened, pharmacists made a lot of money. A lot of money.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of pharmacists are making like $80,000, $90,000 a year working at Walgreens. And it still costs you $200,000 to get a degree in pharmacy and about $160,000 to get your degree in optometry.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So to prevent that from happening in the medical field, they are intentionally limiting the increase in medical doctor slots so the MDs and DOs don't go the way of optometrists, audiologists, even chiropractic. Chiropractors used to make a lot more money, but now they have these chiropractic retail places.
Yeah.
Yep. So optometrists used to make a lot more money.
That is where the large majority of my debt came from. Now, same thing. It was like in order to go to the school, in order to get a good paying job or be in a good career or good profession, I didn't think anything of taking out student loans. I just thought that was like part of the process. Like, this is just what you have to do if you want to get in these kinds of positions or whatever. And if your family does not have the means to kind of pay for your tuition and for your schooling. Now, I will say for for optometry school, yes, I did get refund checks and things like that. And I usually would put it in a CD or a high yield savings account or something like that.
Or why didn't you put it on your student loans?
Just as kind of like an emergency fund, or just because I didn't know what would happen. Because I actually, when I was in optometry school, I actually had both of my kids in optometry school. So part of that contributed to some of my student loan debt and some of my ignorance surrounding it.
So what that meant was she was living off of her student loans.
Right. She
And
was
that's
financing
how.
her living expenses. Yeah.
Yep. And if she was with her husband at that time, shame on him.
Yeah.
Shame on him. Come on.
It would be bad on his part because he would make sure she's like regulated properly, so she doesn't overspend or spend the money that's important, so she doesn't end up in debt.
Yep. This is his fault. And you know what? Kudos for her for being married, and kudos for her for having her kids in wedlock. So
Yeah.
good for her.
Like I don't even. When you're taking out those student loans, you are young, and I hate to say it, dumb, because I really didn't know. Like, I still, I really didn't wrap my head around what I was doing or just the full impact of it. So let me just back up a little bit. So I remember in undergrad, people would say, pay your student loans, like pay the interest on your student loans while you're in school, because, and I didn't really pay any attention to it because I think most of my loans at the time were subsidized student loans. And the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized: subsidized, the government is paying the interest on your loans while you're in school. Unsubsidized loans, the interest is accruing while you're in school. So heads up to people who are on you're not on that traditional 4-year plan, because I did graduate in 4 years in my undergrad. But if it's taking you 5, 6, 7 years and you have unsubsidized loans, that interest is just building and building and building and building and building from the moment you took that loan out. So just remember that. And that 4-year degree with tuition only being, $10,000 a year. But if you took that loan out in your first year, you could very well owe $15,000, $1,000 on something that was only $10,000 if you're not paying that interest. And that's why I say I didn't fully understand it. Like I heard that, but I just didn't pay attention. So a lot of my
It's either she didn't know or she didn't care or a combination of both, and neither of those are good. Like none of those are good.
unsubsidized loans did come from when I was in optometry school, and you would think I would take the refund check and pay the interest on it or whatever, but no, I didn't. And like I said, part of it was because I was saving, because I did have a family and I was married and that kind of thing. But I was like, I'm gonna be balling. I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna make, X amount of money. Like,
There it is, you guys. I'm gonna be balling. I'm gonna be a doctor. There it is. Guys, a lot of these medical professionals are broke as a joke, you guys. Broke as a joke. Nurses, physician assistants, doctors. It's crazy. It's like I remember I saw this story where this guy, one of the USCs has the best orthodontist program in the country, and he lives in Salt Lake City. He has a wife and 4 children. He makes like $300,000 a year in Salt Lake City, but he has like $900,000 in student loans.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the story. Orthodontist has one. Oh yeah, it was on Dave Ramsey. Look at this. It says an orthodontist with over $1 million worth of student loans called into Dave Ramsey's show. He said the interest on the debt alone was costing him about $5,800 per month. Ramsey said he was going to have to live like he was broke for he was a broke student for a while, but he has 1 million. TikTok viewers were shocked by a resurrected clip of a man who called into Dave Ramsey's show saying he had $1 million in student loan debt. And a clip,
What?
yeah, $1 million, you guys. Justin said his salary was $250,000 per year, but he was paying $5,800 per month in interest on the student loans. So if he makes $200,000 a year, right? Let's try and guess how much he makes a month. So $250,000, and then he has so he gets paid what 24 times out of the year, right? So that's 10,000, and then let's only do about 75% of that. So he makes about about $8,000 or $9,000 a month after taxes.
Mm-hmm.
No, is that right? Is that right? Oh, let me see. 250 times 0.75. Okay, so that's 187. Then divide that by 12. Oh no, I'm sorry. So he makes $15,625 a month, and then $5,800 of that he's paying for. So he has $9,825 a month after left over, and that's just him paying the interest.
Wow.
Crazy. He says, "Well, I wasn't thinking clearly." He said he and his fiance were trying to figure out the best way to attack the debt, and we're thinking of trying to pay down $10,000 per month, and interest is going to be the accruing greater than you're putting in. You're not making any mathematical progress. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. He's screwed. Yeah. When it came to Justin, Ramsey told him that he had to be very, very careful to just act like you're a broke college student. But he has he has kids and stuff. He had that the couple couldn't go out on vacations, buy a new house, lease a car, or eat out at restaurants. It gives me an anxiety attack. It's not even my debt. Yeah, man. So that his smallest loans were $4,500 or less, which Ramsey recommended focus on that first. Yeah, $1 million, you guys. Yep, it's crazy. Anyway, back to Miss Optometrist here.
like 100K a year, I can easily. Now, this is how, when I say I was young and dumb, this is my mindset. I'm like, I'm gonna make 100K a year. If I owe $200,000 worth of loans, I'll have that paid off in 2 years. Like, girl, what you gonna pay off on if you're trying to pay 100K off each year?
And she had a husband and kids. Yeah. Right. Huh.
And you owe 200, like, that's what I say. But anyway, so words of advice, as y'all know, with my channel, I try to share with you so you can learn from my mistakes. So let's see the total amount of debt, student loan debt I have. So because this is where I did my research, or I was gathering information to prepare for this particular video, and I started getting ticked off. I was like so upset. I had to take a moment before I could even, like, do this video. So my total loan amount was $200,151.90. So yes, 200K is what I owed. Now, mind you, I have been out of school for 11 years now. I graduated in 2010. So I've been out of school for 10 years, going on 11 years or whatever. Now, there were periods of the loans being in forbearance recently, with me having to open up my own business. And this is outside of the government forbearance and all that kind of stuff too. But when I had my first child, I took a year off from school. And you have that little deferment period. I don't know if it was because it was private loans or whatever, but that year I took off, it ate into that deferment period. So those kind of loans, as soon as I graduated or whatever, they were due. I had no little grace period or anything. And I don't know, looking back on the whole thing was shady of how I had to do stuff. Like, I was pretty much forced to take a year off. I'm not even gonna get into that. But
How are you forced to take a year off work? I don't get it. And she's not going to get into that because there's probably no reason for a good reason for her to have done it. Huh.
yeah, I don't remember being educated, counseled, or anything like that about this. So keep in mind, there were periods of time where these loans were in forbearance. Loans were in like a deferment. And with my private loans, it works a little bit differently. So I told you
I never understood how do people get public and private loans out? Private loans are the absolute worst, you guys. The absolute worst. And I would go so far as to say any job that requires you to take out private student loans isn't a job that isn't a passion you should pursue, isn't a degree you should get. Private loans are the absolute worst. That's like all these idiots that keep refinancing all their public loans with like SoFi and all that stuff. If you refinance your loan through them, any student loan forgiveness does not apply. And SoFi is just laughing. Oh yeah, come over here. We'll give you you can pay $200 a month for freaking 40 years. How about that? Oh, what a scam.
my original amount is $200,000. Now, I told you I've been out of school for about 10 years. I have made a total payment amount of $129,000, $229,330.63. Yay to me, right? Nah, dog. This don't mean nothing, because guess what? This is what I was calculating today to prepare for the video. My remaining balance is $146,546,546.
Jesus H. Christ.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Let's go back.
$89,000 deferment. And with my private loans, it works a little bit differently.
Oh yeah, the
Hi, guys.
money
How are you?
man's here. How's it going, my friend?
I heard about finance. I came.
Yeah, man. So this woman is a optometrist, right? She's married, has kids, and has been married all the way through school. But she had 20,000 and some odd dollars from her undergrad. But after optometry school, she was $217,000 in student loan debt. So she's going to break down after 10 years, 10, how much she's paid on it and how much she has left. Are you ready?
You know what the male equivalent of this video would be? A guy who in 10 years only had one girl, and he's gonna break it down for us. You know, I mean, it's absolutely insane to me to hear someone explain their failures as if it was something like something academic. You know, I'd be ashamed. I mean, I don't know.
And
So strange, you know.
here's the thing. It's like we need more women like this to talk because women are not going to listen to us. So it sucks that she's on here saying her failures because one, I wouldn't do this, but two, she has to, and then three, like what percentage of women do you think are going to not go to optometry school because of debt, because of what she's talking about? I'd say little to none.
I would say that the problem here is that women do not understand the purpose of getting a degree. You have to get the degree as cheap as possible, as fast as possible. Okay, so and it has to be a worthwhile degree. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree.
So the problem is that women, they tend to view this college period, from what I see in the United States, as some kind of long-term holiday where they just get in debt, they just party all this money, just living their life, and they do not understand that it's not a joke, and then all of a sudden they're 200K in debt with an optometrist degree, where I don't know what the average wage is for, but I'd say 50, 60K max. No,
it's between 90 and like 120.
Really, is that high? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But well, maybe not at the start of your career. But anyway, I don't know if you agree with me that girls do not treat this money in a responsible way. They get. I mean, how can you get to 2,000K when you're a student? It's not like you have to. I don't understand, man. It's for me, it's baffling. That's.
Yeah, see, that's the average salary for an optometrist is like 115.
But a junior, you have to put in a junior maybe at the beginning. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get to we get it. But it's not important.
But still, with no salary is enough when you're $200,000 in student loan debt. Because what's the payment on that, Con?
They don't pay. That's the thing, and interest rates up because they don't understand how they are digging their own hole. In a way, they dig their own hole. They buy their Starbucks at $6 a piece every day. And all of a sudden, I have 200K in debt. Who's gonna help me? Please forgive, or just marry me and pay my debts. It's very sad.
Yep, I agree.
So I told you my original amount is $200,000. Now, I told you I've been out of school for about 10 years. I have made a total payment amount of $129,000, $229,330.63. Yeah, to me, right? Nah, dog. This don't mean nothing because guess what? This is what I was calculating today to prepare for the video. My remaining balance is $146,546.86.
So first of all, nobody cares about the cents. It drives me nuts when they are so specific with the amounts, as if there was some kind of laser focused superstars. This is absolutely insane. Secondly, when she said she paid 120,000 in 10 years, it means she paid 12,000 per year. Okay, so that's absolutely nothing, but they present it as if it was some kind of huge feat. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling to me because they do not speak in terms of percentages. I've paid, I don't know, 5% of my debt each month or whatever. They always use these absolutely useless amounts, and they just are so thorough and precise with the cents that it's completely they're missing the point totally.
I had the woman before this woman, and she was $200,000 in student loan debt, and she paid off about 40,000 of it, and when she's around 170, she bought a rental property.
I mean, that's absolutely insane. I mean, how
And
can
it's
you
like-
buy something when you're already in debt?
I don't know, man. So she's talking about her student loan debt, but she's probably added about $300,000 in debt for her rental property. And it's just like, it's funny how she's leaving out her mortgage, but just talking about her student loan debt. So as of 2024, she only has like $74,000 out of $200,000 left on her student loans. It's crazy.
I think how they think. They think, okay, I need a house, I need a degree, and I need a car. That's how they think. And they just buy everything, and then
all at once.
whatever happens, happens. And
Yep.
Of course, this is absolutely irresponsible. But they hope either God or some the government will forgive them, or some kind of simp gonna come and pay everything. But it's absolutely reckless behavior in my eyes.
And once again, I got to give someone credit because she's married. She had her kids in wedlock, but how did her husband let her get in this much debt? He should have said, "Look, honey, we can't do this. Like, we're gonna have to move to Kansas or something where you can get a cheaper degree or something like that." Yeah.
Yeah, and also, when you have a wife and you try to raise a family, I'm pretty sure none of them are like thinking, okay, what do I want to be in like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? How will I maximize the value of my degree? No, not at all. They just want the degree just to say they have the degree. It's very vain, in my opinion. There's no fundamental introspection on how they're going to extract the maximum. They just want to have a degree, have a family, have a house, have a car, and that's it. And it's not that simple, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yes, $146,546.86. Houseway. Like, I paid $129,000. You know why? Houseway? That's that interest, boo. That's that interest that gets you. And I had paid off 5 loans during that time period.
5
now,
loans
amounted to...
What?
No, 5 loans. She says she repaid 5 loans.
Like, I had 2 loans with my. I had unsubsidized and subsidized them. Just 2. How do these people? I did a story on that woman that's a orthodontist, and she's $300,000 in student loan debt, and she has like 27 different loans. 27.
27. Oh my god.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw The Big Short, the movie.
Yeah,
Maybe you're
I saw that.
familiar. So for me, when I hear her speak, it's like a reenactment of exactly what caused that crash, because it's people who get into very financially impossible situations, and then they think that it's gonna disappear. So back in the days, it was buying houses that you can't afford, and now they're buying degrees. And she just had this remark when she said, so it's about the interest, boo. That's what cripples you. That's exactly what crippled the economy back in the days. Okay, because people did not know how interest works, and there were variable interest rates, etc. I won't go into detail, but she discovers only now, after 10 years, how interest payments works. It's completely history repeats itself. In a way.
Yeah, I agree, because the system it's getting way too big. I did a story. I think I did a live stream. Was it part of a live stream or a video on my channel that said that there are more schools now in America that cost $100,000 a year? Brown University, Vanderbilt, George Washington University, Washington University of St. Louis, Tufts University, $100,000 a year. And like, oh, you get financial aid, but even with financial aid is only 45,000 of it. So you're still paying at least $55,000 a year for 4 years.
I'm shocked by it. I live in Switzerland. Okay, how much do you think we pay for a semester in college?
$1,000.
500.
There you
And
go.
500 if you're a stranger, and 200 if you're a Swiss citizen. The thing is, what I don't understand is that maybe they could get these degrees elsewhere, cheaper, even better, and they still cripple themselves into this huge debt. Which for if I was 23 years old and I had $200,000 of debt, I would be, very very depressed. It's very, very hard on yourself to just overcome such a bad start. So I really don't.
And here's the thing: you can't go to college in the United States cheaply. New Mexico is the cheapest state to go to college in, and the average cost of tuition in New Mexico is $11,000 a year.
Yeah,
seems sensible.
But 200,000 for a degree. For me, it's absolutely reckless spending on her part. It's how many years is that? 2 years, 3 years? So she's living the high life when she should be completely at the opposite. She should be very, very stingy with the money. So there's something which doesn't add up. They are mentioning like these huge amounts, and they just graze over it. Without any explanation. How did you get $275K for a 2-year degree? It means you have spent 150 around per year. How?
Yeah.
It's shocking.
So how long? So Whiteout says he pays $333 per class per semester, and then he says it's an in-state, or I say that's in-state. Out of state is $35,000 in New Mexico. How long is optometry school? How long is optometry?
It must be it's
4
a bachelor
years.
master, 4 years total. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. 4 years. It's crazy, man. Yikes.
$13,184.16. You would think they would take that other $113,000 that I paid, and you would think I would have more than 5 daggone loans paid off. And I have a total of 11 loans still remaining, or whatever. But
11, you guys. See, I told you.
Wow.
11 loans. So she had what? 15 loans total? 16 loans total.
But not only that, but for me, it's telling, because it's not only does she have 11 loans, I'm sure she does not repay most of them. So this will only accrue and worsen her overall situation, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
But yes. Now, if I had the money to pay off all of this stuff, all of this today, if I had that $146,546.86 to pay off these loans at this very moment today, I would have paid $275,877.49. And I say paid off today because that interest is still going to be accruing. Like my federal loans, yes, they are in deferment. My private loans, which I still owe about $13,000 more on, and I talked about in another video, I am trying to get those paid off because they are in a forbearance, but some of them are still accumulating interest, and I have to make the interest payments and stuff on that.
I think we will listen for 5 more minutes to only someone who will tell amounts, and nothing will come of it. She will have no solution. She'll just explain the hole she's in, and that's it. And for her, that was a good cathartic experience.
They always get into, so like here's my tips and stuff. So let's go to because I was going to go to like 12:30.
From them 2 apples plus interest. That's how I feel looking at these student loans. Like when I was doing the calculations, I was like, make it make sense. Like this is crazy. Like trying to figure this out. I'm like, if I had if I had $200,000 worth of student loans and I paid off almost $130,000 worth of student loans, how much do I have to left to pay off? My thinking is $70,000, right? No, but
all right.
No, boo boo. No, that's not how life works. Okay. You should read at least the definition of interest rate. Okay.
Yep.
And also, I think that's I don't know, Doug, if you agree with me, but one of the biggest flaws right now with the BWs and everyone and every modern woman is that they have no financial literacy. Nobody has they have no.
Jessica, I'm gonna stop
interest
you
in
real
that.
quick. I'm gonna stop
Yeah,
you real quick
sorry.
because even before that, even if they had financial literacy, no one can tell them nothing. First and foremost, no one can tell them nothing. So
But,
like,
yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
they're not. Here's the thing, like, financial literacy is counterproductive to the
The dreams.
mindset of the
The
average
dreams.
Black woman,
Yeah.
right? So like they're most of them aren't in any kind of position to even want to learn financial literacy because that's where financial accountability starts.
Yeah,
So
and
like,
they're allergic, to that.
yep. So
But you
number
know,
one thing.
that's when I was like maybe 11 years old. I had already a hunch that when something is too good to be true, it's clearly it's too good to be true, you know. But they, even if when they're adults, they have they're so gullible in a way, you know. They really think everything is going to be fine. Student loan borrower has 500K in debt. I mean, she won't pay. I mean, this is something, I mean, it's clearly gender based, you know. I don't know if you agree with me, but when you were little, Doug, and guys, you please feel free to also say, were you that gullible? Would you like spend that much money thinking that it won't have any consequences? I don't think so. No.
You know, so it's about mistakes and stakes, right? Men make mistakes, but like, but most men, we don't make those kind of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how like women make such worse mistakes than men.
You know why? Go ahead,
like,
sorry.
you know, example, a woman having a child out of wedlock is such a worse mistake for her than it is a man.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, even finances. In a divorce, most of the time, the man's net worth goes up and the woman's net worth goes down. If a guy that's worth $100 million has to give $50 million to his wife, he's gonna make that money back, but the woman's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, of course. And you know, they are in a way short-sighted because even when they divorce, they just look at the short-term gain. You know, so like, yeah, I'm gonna get to the alimony and I'm gonna get some, I don't know, half of his stuff. You know, okay, that's gonna maybe suffice for a few years. You know, but they don't realize that they condemn themselves to a life of loneliness. You know. And it's very sad because they go then on Tinder and stuff like that. They see that nobody wants them, and they realize they completely they're screwed. You know. Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, I did a video on my channel about this Rachel Lindsay girl has to pay her ex-husband.
Yeah, it's an exception.
Yeah, we're gonna see more, and she has to pay his lawyer fees.
Yeah, as she should.
We're gonna see more and more of these, you guys, and I'm hoping that this is on the rise. I saw your comment, Jessica, that you would never take alimony for.
I mean, I'd feel like a lousy bum, you know. I mean, I would be proud,
it's
but
equality,
I'm a special. Yeah, I mean, I do. If I may just add, my point of view is that I think there's you lose a lot of pleasure in life if you do not earn your money in a fair way, you know, by your skills and talent. Okay, so in this respect, I would say I would never want to win the lotto because it has no skill involved, you know, and I would be seen like some kind of lucky guy with absolutely no talent, you know. And this guy is in the same way. He wants, in a way, a lotto because he will get 13K per month without doing anything. But I don't think he's happy. I mean, I wouldn't be proud of it. I wouldn't be parading
I would
it.
just say, how about you just look, man, like, you don't know
I'm
how
sure
you're
you
going
feel
to
the
handle.
same, Doug. You wouldn't like to be at the.
Well,
as
I'll cut you off. I'll cut you off at the pass. I wouldn't put myself in that situation in the first place.
Exactly.
Guys,
Because
I'm
it's
old.
not a good.
You know, like, I'm not women always say, "Oh yeah, men are intimidated by women that make more." No, it's the attitude that comes along with it. Hard for me to date women. Look, I make really good money, and I work with women who make more money than me, and I wouldn't date or marry any of them because of their attitudes, and they're all single.
Yeah, and
So I wouldn't
a
put
woman's
myself in a
money, it will never
situation-
be used for you, in a way.
Yeah.
So that's why it's worthless.
I wouldn't put myself in a situation where I could get alimony from a woman in the first place.
Well, also, I think you mentioned you were divorced, right?
Mhm.
Who divorced, you or her?
I divorced her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you got it off well in the separation.
Oh yeah, so this is
If you don't mind
a
me
little.
asking, I'm
Yeah.
curious.
So the only thing that I had to do was we were long distance the last year that we were married, and I was coming home every 2 to 3 months. We had a walk-in closet, and each time I came back, I see more and more stuff in the closet. I'm like, where's she getting all this stuff from? So because the reason why I divorced her was one infidelity, and two financial irresponsibility. Like this woman spent money like it was water, pretty much. And so I said, look, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
I was making so much more money than her. I was like, look, I don't want to get lawyers involved because I don't want to have to pay you alimony. She said, look, just pay off my debt, and I'll sign the papers. I said, your debt. Now she had taken $20,000 in credit cards out and didn't tell me.
Oh my God, this is reckless and completely. For me, it's a betrayal, and I mean, it's
so
it's
I
scandalous.
I said, sure, okay, just sign the papers. So she signed the papers. I called the credit card companies and said, look, take her name off this. And you know what? I had to get a second job, and in 2.5 years, I paid it all off.
Yeah, you got away well, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. Because she's remarried, has a kid, and she's somebody else's problem, not mine.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you gotta bite the bullet, and you get your freedom back. And for 20,000, I think it's an easy choice.
And I was making significantly more than she was at the time. So I'm like, yo, I don't want to be paying so alimony. So this guy, Don't Walk Run Productions, he has a video on student loan debt. It's actually pretty good. So let's watch what he's put together. Now watch out, you guys, because his voice is kind of annoying, but this video is good.
Bridges is a single mom living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard enough dealing with rising prices at the store.
My student payments are sitting right now at about $400 is what they're expecting each month. So I mean, that's my.
Oh yeah, I covered this woman. This is the one who quit her regular job to open up a spa. Watch.
Food budget right there.
The pandemic freeze on student loan payments allowed Josie to open up her own.
And also, look at the strap on her purse. You know what that means?
I wouldn't say. I don't think it's transformed. I think it's something from like a Puerto Rican origin or something like that. Wouldn't say.
No. She's like no. First off, she's an Oregon. Second off, she's LGBT, HGTV, man. Come on now.
So I mean, that's my food budget right there.
Claim digger.
Freeze on student loan.
What's that?
She a claim digger.
Payments allowed Josie to open up her own salon in Portland, Oregon. But with $4,000 in outstanding debt from her community college degree, she says she simply won't be able to make the payments once they resume in October.
She's only $4,000 in debt, and she can't make her payments for her college degree.
Jesus H. Christ.
No, I think no. Wait. I think she has to pay 4,000, not the debt is 4,000.
Let's see.
From her community college degree.
They're expecting each month. So I mean, that's my food budget right there.
The pandemic freeze on student loan payments allowed Josie to open up her own salon in Portland, Oregon. But with $4,000 in outstanding debt from her community college
outstanding debt.
Right.
Yeah.
Degree, she says she simply won't be able to make the payments once they resume in October.
This shows a complete lack of responsibility. If Josie had made payments as little as $90 a month over the student loan moratorium, her loan would have been paid off by now. But instead of even attempting to make a dent, she decided to start a business, which is fine. But now she can't afford to finish paying back her loan.
That's
It's kind of
absolutely
out of my
insane.
hands.
It's
Crazy,
insane.
right?
It's insane. Yeah, makes no sense. Makes no
But no one's gonna stop her from her dreams. It's her dream to be a business owner. She's a boss. She owns a business because she's strong and independent. Yeah.
At this point, if I can't make it, I can't make it.
Great attitude, Josie. I'm sure running your business is going to go great.
Having to resume payments will force borrowers like first-generation college grad.
Okay. Did you see this? Look at this.
Yeah,
Look,
let's
look close.
the numbers. Yeah,
Having-
the numbers.
This has $240,795. You guys.
To be honest,
oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Jesus H. Christ.
Monthly payment 700.
Is it 792?
Yeah.
But that won't even cover the interest for the year, will it?
No, it's I suppose that the money is a combination of both an interest rate and an amortization amount. So in a way, you pay off the interest and you reduce the debt. But if you don't pay at all, or if you pay only the interest, your debt doesn't diminish. That's the goal. That's the thing.
So his interest each year is going to be $15,651, right? And if you use 792.50 times 12, that's 9,510.
Well, what did you see?
So if you okay,
the interest is 6%, 6.5.
Yeah, 240,795.46 times 0.065. That's $15,651, right? And so if you do 792.50 times 12, that's $9,510. So 15,651.
It's not enough. That's what you're saying. It's not enough.
So he's gonna have an extra $6,000 a year and added to his loans, but making the minimum payments.
Yeah, the thing is, I think they have some kind of leeway to choose how much they want to pay, and of course, the less you pay, the more. I mean, it's only interest that you pay back in a way, and not the full amount. And I can bet that these women, they see how much they have to pay, and they pay the least possible, and they don't understand the ramification of it.
Yep, I agree. But apparently, a lot of guys do it too. Because this is a guy I watch.
Payments will force borrowers like first-generation college graduate Michael Lopez in Anaheim, California, to make compromises.
Wait, now try and guess what his degree is, guys. Try and guess.
I'm sure it's financial engineering. No,
guys. Try and guess.
I would say philosophy, psychology, something like that. Psychology.
Close. It's one of my 7. What are the 7 I always say? It's one of my
criminal.
7.
No, it's not criminal justice. That's for women usually. Social studies, really.
It's close. It has social in it.
Social politics.
It's you'll see. Watch.
A really big chunk, of our spending every month.
The 33-year-old's goal of becoming a social worker led him to pursue a master's degree after a degree.
He's gonna have himself as the first client.
I told you guys. Social work. How do you get $233,000?
No, but
the gamer says space dinosaur study.
But Doug, I think the starting wage for social work is around the 200K. No, so I mean it's gonna be easy to pay back. No.
What is the average salary?
Oh God.
Of a social worker?
60K, I'd say.
No, it's like 27, maybe 28.
So low? Come on, really?
So, no, it is. Yeah.
It says that at the height you're looking at $55,356 a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You're looking at a barrel down your mouth.
God. Oh, yikes.
Degree in sociology at a state school. He now owes $240,000 in student debt.
That's an astronomical number.
Yes, it is. No one should be spending $240,000 towards a master's in sociology.
His monthly bill, nearly $800.
We all deserve an opportunity for education, and however I had to make that happen, gotta make it happen.
Did you ever? False. No, you don't deserve shit. I mean, you either can afford it or you can't. You don't deserve that. It's not it's in the Constitution or not? I don't think so. No,
it's not.
You can get a master's degree. No.
Consider a career where you could make more money, easily pay off those
Now listen closely.
debts.
Actually, no.
$100.
We all deserve an opportunity for education, and however I had to make that happen, I was going to make it happen.
Did you ever consider a career where you could make more money, easily pay off those debts?
Actually, no. This is just too meaningful to me. It's kind of, I feel like it was what I was designed to do, was to help people. And so, yeah, I'm proud of it, and it's exactly where I want to be.
So
you guys,
it makes no sense, man. It makes no sense.
He sounds like a woman. He has the debt of a woman.
That's sad.
And hey, you know what? At least he's married. He's found someone to go through this, this debt journey with him. But I don't know, like,
Doug, do you know how much the divorce rate increases as soon as the guy doesn't get a job or is in trouble? I mean, it's doubles or triples. As soon as you don't have a job, you're out of. You don't have no wife. They have no loyalty.
What percentage of marriages end due to financial problems?
If you are
40% of divorces are from financial
yes,
differences. Are from financial difficulties. 40%.
I'm saying if you lose your job, you come to change locks in your house. Usually, that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's true. I agree 100%.
This guy's job is helping people, yet he can't even take care of his own financial obligations. F***ing clown world, am I right?
I come out of grad school at the age 27, an educator ready to take on the world of special education.
Sarah's dream was to teach children with autism, so she decided to take out a $118,000 student loan.
You got it. Special education, teaching kids with autism. $118,000 in student loan debt. This is why women in student loan debt is my favorite thing to talk about, you guys. Because
for me, it's like watching a train wreck or a car crash. You can only watch it, but you're like, how did they get into this position?
Because here's the thing, the biological wall can be like fudge. People are like, oh yeah, I can have IVF, or I can do all these surgeries to put out the biological wall. But it's like the monetary wall, math. You can't get past math. You just can't. No. When women are staring down the rest of their lives with that $200,000 weight around their neck, it's like it's the best. It's like debt is the new slavery, you guys. It's the new slavery.
It has always been like that. But in my opinion, guys, whenever they are asked how much should your man make in order to date you, and they always say a number which is astronomically higher than whatever they would make in their life. Like he needs to make 500K, 300K. I'm sure in a way that it's the amount of debt they're in, and that's their solution, to find a man who would come and pay for everything.
Yeah,
it's not a fairy tale, unfortunately. So yeah.
Well, St. Kevin Samuels said the best. A man would have to come along and be able to afford your existing lifestyle. So would have to be able to afford her existing debt.
Yeah. And not only that, if they come also with children and stuff like that, I mean, there's no chance any self-respecting man would go into this abysmal, scenario.
Yep, I agree.
To get her master's in education from Columbia University.
And wanting to be a teacher in that field.
$18,000.
Master, guys. Master of Arts. Okay, Master of Arts.
There it is.
Columbia University.
Check. Master of Arts means it's 1.5 years. Okay, so it's even shorter than a Master of Science. So it's very telling that she spent 200K on
The
this.
thing about it is it's not even a master's in education. It's a master of arts. What does that mean?
No, it means there are two types of masters: the masters of arts and master of science. So a master of arts is usually used in the humanities because it's shorter. You can do it in maybe 1 year or something like that. It's the amount of credits required. Okay, so you can have a master of arts in history, and you can have a master of science in finance. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but hers is like a general master of arts.
It must be something. It's
No.
only arts. It's generic.
Yeah. Yes, it would say it on there. It would say
Yeah, yeah.
master of arts in like leadership or master of arts in like
Yeah, I agree.
literature or something. But it's
Yeah,
just a general
recent.
master of arts.
Yeah,
Yikes, man.
Master of
Ugh.
trivia.
University.
And wanting to be a teacher in that field is respectable. But going to Columbia, you can get a master's of arts in education just about anywhere, and for a hell of a lot less money. Plus, there's always a demand for special education teachers. Do you think that schools are going to be picky? Oh, you didn't go to Columbia.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
next applicant.
The interest is 7.65.
Pretty high interest rate.
But at a nearly 8% interest rate, her $118,000 balance ballooned to one.
She's another one. Let's do the math on this real quick. Where's that at?
Think that schools are going to be picky? Oh, you didn't go to Columbia. Sorry, next applicant.
The interest is 7.65.
Pretty high interest rate.
But at a nearly 8% interest rate, her $108.
Okay, let's do the math on this one. You see that? Let's see. Let's do some numbers real quick. Her interest is 7 point.
You see the current repayment plan. It says pay as you earn. Okay.
Yeah.
And since she isn't earning shit, she isn't paying anything. Okay. So this will only make her situation just linger on towards.
So she's paying $13,948 in interest each year, right? So if she does 440.07 times 12, she's only paying $5,280 a year in payments. So you subtract 13,948.88. So if she makes minimum payments, she'll have $8,000 a year extra added to her loan.
I have a question, Doug. Guys, in Switzerland, if you don't pay your debt, you go to jail. What happens there? What happens in the States?
So it used to be. I don't know if it's happened anymore, but in the 80s and the 90s, you would so if you default on your student loan debt, the first thing is you can get your tax return garnished. In some instances, you can get your wages garnished, but it used to be that they give you an option where you could either you go to jail or join the army.
Okay.
I haven't started doing that in a while.
Here they take what you earn as a wage. Let's say you owe $10,000. Okay, and they say, okay, Doug, your yearly wage is 100K. Okay, so 10K is like maybe 3 weeks of your time. I don't know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they send you to jail for the amount of time you would have earned $10,000 with your last reported wage. Okay, so the problem is that if you have a low-paying job, you're gonna stay in jail for a long time because it's gonna take a long time to pay back your debt. You see what I mean? So it's in a way it punishes people who are on welfare, because if you're on welfare, obviously you have low income, and then your hour is worth like $5. So okay, your hour is worth $5. So you owe $10,000. Okay, go to jail until you spend that many hours. That's the system here.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm learning all this new stuff this stream. Dang.
I'm curious what happens, because in their words, it's like nothing happens afterwards. Okay, don't pay. I can't pay. Okay.
What happens if you don't pay your student loans?
Because we know what happens if you don't pay alimony.
Let's go to the federal site. What happens if I don't pay back my student loan?
because if I'm not mistaken, if a man doesn't pay alimony, he goes to jail. But
if you don't make your student loan payment, or you make your payment late, your loan may eventually go into default. If you default on your student loan, that status will be reported to the National Credit Reporting Agencies. This reporting may damage your credit rating and future borrow ability. Also, the government can collect your loans by taking funds from your wages, tax refunds, and other government payments. So they can also start taking it out of your social security too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So no jail.
No jail.
$1,000 balance ballooned to $180,000.
It was obviously not the smartest decision, right?
Obviously not. Sarah did not factor in return on investment or the costs of raising a family while taking out such a massive loan.
But when their twin daughters were born, the weight of the loans became crushing.
Between the loans, the amount of that, and the two of us being paid on a teacher's salary, that wasn't going to work.
Sarah quit teaching.
That's a big garden you have there in that big house that you have with your one income.
No, she's married, but
yeah,
her,
but they said one income. If you just back out a few seconds.
Oh yeah, because she quit her job.
Oh, okay, of course, yeah.
Consulting, so she could afford the $440 payments on her loans every month. But when their twin daughters were born, the weight of the loans became crushing.
Between the loans, the amount of that, and the two of us being paid on a teacher's salary, that wasn't going to work.
Sarah quit teaching for a job in consulting so she could afford the $440 payments on her loans every month.
But even if she makes those payments every month, she will never pay it off in her lifetime. And because she's not a teacher anymore, she doesn't qualify for public service loan forgiveness. Sad, really.
Hey, payments start again in October.
And then this guy, listen to this.
Constant reminders are inundating Manuel Galindo's inbox. The Berkeley grad owes more than $28,000 on federal student loans. Now, the 31-year-old has his dream job at a nonprofit that fights for borrowers.
Oh, come on. He went to Berkeley. He went to Berkeley for a
To work in a nonprofit.
God.
Wow, what a waste.
And the thing about it is, guys, try and guess what percentage of nonprofit employees are women. Try and guess.
I would say 85, something very high.
Yeah,
77%. 77% of nonprofit employees are women.
Insane.
Yeah, because you don't make any money in nonprofits on average. Women it's the ultimate example of what I was talking about, where women care about title and their passion for work over status and money.
They think we're in a fairy tale. It's a Disney movie in their eyes, you know. I'm gonna work in a nonprofit, and I'm gonna have a family with the house and the picket fence and the car, and I'll be graduated from Berkeley.
No. Even before all that, I'm gonna work at a nonprofit. I'm gonna do such important work. I'm gonna save the world. You know, I may not get any money, but society is gonna stick their hands in my pants and give me a freaking verbal freaking hand job.
And congratulate me and see me as some kind of divine goddess, you know, and not be so pious.
Ego.
It's crazy, man. And this is a guy doing this, which makes it even worse.
He has $1,000 a year. Like, he must have a single mom.
Nice guitar, man. How much that cost?
Pyro, what were you saying?
He must have been raised by a single mom or something.
Even worse, listen to this.
That goes to support other family members. Restarting loan payments will mean box. The Berkeley grad owes more than $28,000 on federal student loans. Now, the 31-year-old has his dream job at a nonprofit that fights for borrowers. He makes about $80,000 a year, but much of that goes to support other family members. Restarting loan payments will mean painful cuts.
Okay.
It's very ironic, I'd say, no?
So, in the Black community, we have this term called the Black tax.
I know that.
The Black tax is where one member of the family makes it, and then they have to support everybody else. And the family pretty much says, well, it's your duty to give us money because all of us poured into you. Guys, don't pay the black tax and don't ever be with a woman. It doesn't matter what her race is that has to support her family. Don't do it.
Sad? Usually it's the mothers who expect their children, their sons, to make it big to save them from the hole they're in. They dug themselves in. It's very, very selfish.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
Hey, hang on. Manuel seems to be making good money, and when you're making $80,000 a year, $28,000 is not an obscene amount of debt. But the problem is that he's apparently supporting the rest of his family, and that needs to stop.
Until his student debt is settled, Galindo can achieve his ultimate goal.
What's that, Pyro?
His like the rest of his family needs to do something. They can't just like bum out on one guy. Somebody in there needs to do something.
Yep, it's not his responsibility. He should have the ability to live his own life. And also, guys, I know you're thinking, oh yeah, he makes $80,000, but he lives in California, so $80,000 is like $40,000 pretty much.
He needs to find a home for his parents.
Listen.
Problem is that he's apparently supporting the rest of his family, and that needs to stop.
Until his student debt is settled, Galindo can achieve his ultimate goal, buying a home for his parents.
Just the thought of being able to give my parents that key. We've never had that.
His main concern is not buying a home for himself, guys. It's buying a home for his parents. And why is that his responsibility exactly? Manuel needs to focus on getting his own life in order, because no one should be struggling while making $80,000 a year.
$200-300 is the difference between me being able to purchase medical coverage or me being able to pay for my family's food.
Or being able to rent this house. What's going to change when you have to start paying this loan back?
I'm giving up the house.
So what are you going to do?
Couch surf?
I don't know who needs to hear it.
Couch surf. Oh my God, man. Berkeley grad, huh? Berkeley grad.
Yep. And he only owes $27,000.
That's not a lot. I mean, it's reasonable.
not even close.
Right. But Manuel's family needs to start fending for themselves for a while.
When I graduated from medical school,
Now this guy went to medical school. Watch.
my total education debt was somewhere around $225,000 to $250,000. So 9 of the last 10 years, I've been making payments, but the debt has now ballooned to $355,000.
But wait, guys, wait. Because medical school takes a lot of time, so.
But he has. Did he go to? Yeah, it says that he's something with he's a. Well, I guess he can be a professor with an MD because he's an assistant professor of infectious diseases at a university. Well, I guess you could do that because I thought he got a PhD. But anyway, never mind. But look at this. His payments are $1,300 a month, $355,000. He started off with 225. Hold on, let's go back.
What are you going to do?
Couch surf?
I don't know who needs to hear it, but Manuel's family needs to start fending for themselves for a while.
When I graduated from medical school, my total education debt was somewhere around $225,000 to $250,000. So 9 of the last 10 years, I've been making payments, but the debt has now ballooned to $355,000.
Let's do a basic analysis. A $250,000 loan with a loan term of 20 years at 7.125% would mean a payment of $1,957 a month. By the end of year 9, his balance should have been at $167,622. But as you can see, he's on the save plan, which allows him to pay based on his income. So he's only paying 67% of what he should be paying, because paying $1,317 a month isn't even covering the interest at this point, which means that CNN isn't telling you the whole story.
Yeah.
No, you're shocked. And under the save plan, any interest that his payment doesn't cover is forgiven. Isn't that nice? Which means that thanks to Joe Biden, you, the American taxpayer,
That's
are
the thing,
helping
yeah.
to pay off a doctor's student loans. A doctor.
Wait, Doug. Not only, I mean, a doctor, okay, but you're also paying the debt of useless degrees. You know, that's the scandalous part.
Yeah.
You know?
At least he's a doctor. Guys,
Yeah,
I'm
at
telling
least
you,
yeah, he's something which
10%
can be.
of STEM students are women. I think it's like 11% now. All the rest are humanities. And 70% of the student loan debt is women. So most of the time, you are paying for a woman to get a useless degree.
And not only that, even if they get the STEM degree, they don't use it. They just put it on a shelf, and then they get married, and they get to
And
have
then,
kids, you know?
and don't forget, in the marriage, she wants credit for being a scientist. Well, I'm a scientist. Yeah, but you're a stay-at-home mom. I know, but still. Or you know what? She was a scientist for 3-4 years, and then she quit to go work in HR.
I mean,
I forget all the rest.
I have a
all the
story
rest
about this if you want.
of the broads, and she still wants credit for being a scientist. Nope, it doesn't work that way. What were you saying, Jessica?
I was saying that I have a friend, so I've done so I have a degree in finance, and I had I know a girl, so she has a PhD in finance, okay, from one of the best programs available, okay, and her sister has a PhD in law, okay, and both of them are stay-at-home moms. So for me, it's it's mind-boggling to go so far to get a PhD. I mean, when you get a PhD, it means you dedicate yourself to the field, you know. And she the first thing she did, how did she call it? She said she renounced finance. It means she doesn't do finance anymore. You know, what was all of that for? You know, it's shocking.
Yeah, and I honestly believe it in a thing where if a woman gets a medical degree and quits and doesn't be a doctor, she took up a spot that a man could have went to medical school and actually been a doctor. I wonder if there's ever going to be a study as to the shortage of care because women get medical degrees and don't use them.
And that's also the case for quotas, and and equity stuff like that. You know, a lot of capable students are denied their due opportunity to become what they should become because some random wokey agenda has prevented them to do so. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So unreal and astronomical that I can't even fathom making a payment. My student loans were originally $34,000, and this year they have grown to over $500,000.
What?
How old is she?
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my goodness, hold on for a second. Let's rewind real quick.
Them making a payment. My student
given.
The numbers are so unreal and astronomical that I can't even fathom making a payment.
She looks like she's in her late 50s, early 60s. Yeah.
Student loans were originally $34,000, and this year they have grown to over $500,000. I mean, what am I going to do? They want.
Look at that, $528,000. $5,698. Past due amount $22,793. This is where it's all. Remember what you're talking about with the Big Short, Jessica? This is it. This is it right here. This is it. Right here. This is crazy. This is probably of all the student loan debt stuff I've seen, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen right here. This is out of control.
$5,600 and something a month. I can't make that. That's basically that's what I make.
Now, Angela graduated with a PhD in microbiology in 1991. So how did her debt grow 1,453% over 32 years? Well, I gave the numbers to an analyst who has a theory. Angela has never made a single student loan payment ever. So let's assume that her missed payment.
Guys, could you imagine?
Oh, so it's
She got-
fact.
She got her PhD in 1991. Never made a payment, and she's what is she? She's a senior operations. What is it now? Senior manager of quality at a drug manufacturing plant. Yeah, I wonder how that's going for her.
Terrible.
Yikes.
32 years? Well, I gave the numbers to an analyst who has a theory. Angela has never made a single student loan payment ever. So let's assume that her missed payment fees equal 6% of her monthly payment. That would equal around $10,000. Then factoring in the 3.5-year payment pause where interest didn't accrue, that could explain how her balance is now a whopping 528,000 big ones. Now again, for legal purposes, I don't have information beyond what CNN provided. What I stated is just a theory, albeit a very plausible one. Now, it would have been nice if CNN bothered to tell us why her debt skyrocketed, which, would be helpful in a cautionary tale sort of way. But CNN isn't in this for facts or actual reporting. They're in it for the drama.
There's no way I'll ever be able to make payments in my life, the kind of payments they want. So really, my only hope is that I have to die before all my student loans are due, because there's no way I.
And look, multiple children, multiple daughters. I don't see a picture of her and a husband. Do you?
Nope. Nope.
How can she expect any form of sympathy when she has not made a single payment?
No one.
It's absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
Hold on. What was the average cost of grad school in 1991? Are you guys ready? So, average full-time graduate school tuition per year was $4,488. $4,000.
Wow.
It's ridiculous, you guys.
There's a saying, punishment comes limping, That's what happens to them.
That's a good saying. Oh, man. And I'll tell you guys, the thing about this debt is that this just goes to show you poor, middle class, rich women are irresponsible with their money and end up in debt. And she lived a whole life with this on her back, and she didn't give an F. She didn't care. It's crazy, man.
You know what this also means is that I would bet you that she has never ever gotten a tax return because they've always been intercepted, to throw a couple pennies towards the mess, and she will never get a single penny of Social Security, no matter how much she's paid in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. No tax return, no Social Security, no nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if I told you guys, I went to the desert with no water and I'm thirsty and I can't believe I'm thirsty, it's like the same idea. They're like, they take loans, they don't pay it, and then they're surprised that they're in trouble. It's for me, it's insane.
Yeah.
What did you expect? Mercy? I don't know. Pity?
Sympathy? Nope.
Pay them and survive.
Well.
Yeah, this guy's channel is really good. I have one more, and then we can check out this bad boy. But this girl right here, let's see what she has to say.
I owe about $100,000 in loans, and this is all from my undergraduate degree. So how did I get here? And this is a really difficult topic for me. And, I'm going to try not to get emotional, but it's really...
Check the top right channel name, Finesse and Manifest. Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that. That's her channel name, Finesse and Manifest.
That I'm here. And, you can say that, it's all your fault. And
yes,
it's very easy to place the blame on someone.
Finally, someone said it.
I took out that loan, I was 17 years old. I didn't know anything about money. I came from a very blue collar family. So the whole idea of going to a prestigious school and, getting this like top quality education, it was all very new. And I didn't have that support system to figure out like, hey, is this something that you can afford? Is this something that is really, going to be beneficial for you and what you want to do with your career? On top of that, who knows at 17 how much money you're going to make based off of your career? It's always kind of like, oh, you'll figure it out. And yeah.
See, but us men, we have to do the calculation. We have to. Women are afforded the ability to hold on to their dreams and their passions. That's why you still see 40, 45-year-old women still trying to be IG models or actresses and all this garbage. I keep saying it, you guys. What is the female equivalent to, okay, when I say a loser, you automatically picture a man who's a bum, right? What is the female equivalent to the word loser?
I think it's the easy
There
answer
isn't
would be
one.
a single mom.
Parasite.
I think no.
Yeah, but even then, there are social constructs in place that can even justify a woman being a parasite. Let's say this woman were to marry a guy. I mean, any guy that's gonna love her is gonna love her and her student loans.
Nope. One question, guys. What is the purpose of these videos when they make them? What do they expect to do? Because I'm sure
Views.
they don't care. Yeah, exactly. It's attention, and in a way, it's a cry for help. No, that's
She has
how I see it.
22,000 views. Yeah, yep. It's crazy.
I felt like I made a very rash decision at 17. I didn't understand like, oh, what my monthly payments are going to look like and, how long I'm actually going to be paying this and, oh, how much money am I going to be making, salary wise? I didn't understand these things. And because of that,
so you're forgiven.
I just feel like I'm trapped by my loans. I feel like all of my decisions are money driven. Everything that I pursue is driven by money because my loans are just so fucking high. They're so damn high. And it's just like my monthly payment is $750.
You should have listened to your dad. You should have listened to your father. His guidance. I'm sure his guidance was good. What's that you say? No father involved? Okay.
Of course. Jessica, come on. It's a B-dub, man. Come on. Just assume she didn't have one.
Yeah. And roughly $750. So $450 I sent to my mom because she took out a majority of the loans.
And that whole Parent Plus thing is awful. There's so many parents that are saddled with their child's debt. Can you imagine having a daughter and signing for her?
Wait. No. I think she said that her mother took a big part of her loan, meaning that she took it and spent it. I think that's what I understood.
Wait. Hold on. Let me rewind because I thought that maybe her mom took a Parent Plus loan for her.
No, I think it's the mom betrayed her.
Okay, let's see.
Like my monthly payment is $750. And roughly $750. So $450 I sent to my mom because she took out a majority of the loans via like Parent Plus.
Yeah, see? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So her mom signed for the loan for her. And can you imagine having a daughter and then you or even worse are these families, guys, where they scrimp and save for their children's college.
And no mention of the father. Huh? It's the mother. Yeah.
Of course not. And you save $70,000 for your daughter to go to school, and she gets a freaking liberal arts degree. Could you imagine? I'd be pissed off. Or she gets a marketing degree or advertising degree. Oh, I'd be so mad.
And she can't afford to pay that. And we had this deal where she would help me out. Helping me out turned into, girl, you paying for all of that. So, which is, it's fine. Like, that's just what it is. And then for me, I have about 271 that I have to pay that are in my name. And yeah, so I basically pay rent in loans for a degree that I didn't even use. So I was a comms major.
You can't make this shit up, you guys.
Jesus H. Christ.
She got a communications degree. What do I keep telling you guys? What do I keep telling you? The 7 never fails. She's $100,000 in debt for a communications degree.
Guys, I got a degree I have a master's degree in World of Warcraft, and surprisingly, I don't use it that much, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I got a freaking a bachelor of science in freaking Pokemon catching.
Yeah, Warhammer.
Yeah, exactly. God, I was a comms major.
I was a comms major, and I barely used my degree. I think my school, if I can say what was the greatest thing that I've learned from school, it taught me how to finesse. I finesse everything. Actually, I knew how to finesse before I got to university. So
Put that on a resume. How does that sound? Oh yeah, what are your highly valued skills? I know how to finesse.
Yeah, exactly.
These
I know how to
women,
be a charlatan, you know. I know how to be a snake oil salesman. Great job.
God. Ugh.
Polished my finesse skills. Let's just say that. While I'm very appreciative of that, and I'm very appreciative of the people that I've met, if I could, you know, looking back at it, if I just had thought this through and was more knowledgeable about it, I probably would have went to a rinky-dink ass school and just kept it pushing, because I do not use my degree in any shape, form, or whatever. I can't even think. I'm in marketing, and the school that I went.
And she's in marketing. So she's a communications major who doesn't use her communications degree, and she's in marketing.
Chaotic, erratic. Yeah, completely lost in life. That's what.
100% true.
It's very research based. It wasn't even like we were doing hands-on learning, hands-on experiences. And yeah, I really now that I'm thinking about it, I just went to my school to flex, just to be like, oh, I can hang with the big boys, you know?
You said it, Jessica. You said it earlier. It's just an expensive flex for these women. That's all it is. She has $100,000 piece of paper on her wall that nobody cares about.
You know, the thing I really like to hear is that every time they mention that they have a degree, they never say in what field they have it, you know. So it says it all. Actually, it says it all. It means you got something only for your vanity, only to be able to say that, you know, but not for the usefulness that it will bring.
Yeah, only to be able to say that she just how to finesse and manifest.
Yeah.
I'm from the Bronx. There's very few people from the Bronx that, you know, went to the type of schools that the school that I went to. And it was kind of like, whoa, this is really dope that I, you know, am smart enough to get in. My mom told me that I was being a little.
Look at her. Listen to her.
But I was
she's self-aggrandizing herself. It's very unbearable to hear, you know. Oh,
I'm
so smart. I'm so smart. Yeah, sure you are.
You know, guys, I have some anecdotal experience. So I met this girl, and she went to Howard University, full ride, got a political science degree because she wanted to go to law school, right? But then she got accepted to Columbia University. She got a master's degree in sociology and education, right? So her undergrad was paid for. She left Columbia for a 2-year degree, $120,000 in debt. From a 2-year degree from Columbia. Hasn't used it since. She freaking ended up enlisting in the military. Like enlisting. So she's an enlisted soldier in the military with a master's degree from Columbia.
They make no sense. They have no logical path, you know. they do useless degree that they don't even use.
Yep, it's crazy, man. It's awful.
Look at the school, like the school will pay for itself. No, it does not. I have not gotten any job based off of the school that I went to. Like everything has been from networking and finessing. So, yeah, for any young person who is watching this and you're thinking about going to that very fancy dancy school because it's gonna look good, if you can't afford it, and by my definition of afford, if you know that you are not going to school to be an engineer, a lawyer, or you're making well over like 6 figures when you graduate, not down the line, when you graduate, I would not do it.
I'm gonna give her a round of applause. Because underneath that wig is a little bit of common sense. I got to give her credit. You don't see that very often. Most of the time, wigs and weaves choke off the common sense part of the brain when it comes to B-dubs, but she has a little bit of common sense under there. So got to give credit where credit is due.
Not for $100,000 in loans. I'm so happy that there's a conversation now about affordable college tuition solutions and making college free, because this is suffocating. Like, you constantly are just like, okay, do I save or do I pay my student loans? Like, it's so frustrating. And there's so many things that I want to do. Like, I do want to start a business, and I'm not going to have my student loans prevent me from doing that. I just have to basically finesse and figure out how to get the funding for it. But it's just frustrating that it just holds so much weight in all of my decisions. I'm not in a bad place. Like, I make good enough money where I can pay off my loans and not feel like, what the fuck? But I also feel like
she has to live her life. Watch. I have to live my life, and I have to watch.
I was saying, why would you make a video about something that you want to keep private? It's completely absurd, She's like, I'm not going to say my salary, but here's my debt. I mean, you either talk about the topic or you don't. You don't do half and half,
Yep, you got it.
I'm living.
Go ahead, Pyro.
You're like Rachel, out of 10, her looks wise.
You know what, man? Looks like
I give her a 7. Good 7, no?
An adjustable 7.
Yeah.
She looks like
dude, she's average. She's a 5, maybe a 6 on a good day, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah. No,
she looks like
compared to the other BWs. I mean, have you seen the Kevin Samuels show? I mean,
she looks like Lynn Whitfield. Remember her?
Yeah.
Lynn Whitfield. Look.
Oh, she
just like her. And so you know what? Jessica's right. On the scale of B-dubs, she's thinner, which already puts her at a 6 automatically.
That's her real hair as well. No,
no, that's not it.
I don't think so.
No, that's a wig or weave. Nah, man, that's way too straight. That's hell no, nope. And then guys, I'm a big thing on teeth, man. Like, you gotta have nice teeth, and she got a bear trap in here, man. I can't. I can't do it, man. I can't. So I would rate her at a 6, only because she's thin. She has, nice facial features here, but between her teeth and this weave, I can't.
With some makeup, I'm sure that she turns out not too bad, not too shabby,
Yeah, but she looks just like Lynn Whitfield. Look at that. Oh.
So hey, Doug, I got a stupid question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
I've been meaning to ask AJ this for quite a while. And again, I'm sorry, stupid question, but what what is the difference between a wig and a weave?
Okay. Oh my goodness. So okay, a wig just goes over your head, right? A weave. So what they do is they braid your hair into like cornrows, right? And then they have these hair tracks. Track hair, right? Oh, so they sew your hair into, they braid your hair into rows like this, right? Then the hair tracks look like this, and someone literally takes a needle and thread and sews hair tracks into your hair like this.
What?
So yes.
Yeah.
So they will
Like
take.
knitting.
Yep, kind of like knitting. Yep, exactly. So they'll take this hair track. You see this little part right here?
Are they going to combine it with your hair in a way? That's what
They will sew it like they're sewing something into clothes. They'll sew it. They'll take the tract of hair and they'll sew it into the cornrows.
Yeah.
So let me see if we can find that.
How often do they have to be redone?
Like
every week or every 2 weeks or something.
No. It's not. If you have a lot of money,
Yeah.
you can do it every 2-3 weeks. But like the average black woman, it will go like 2 months without.
Not
Yeah.
in Jamaica though. Cause we have wigs and we over in Jamaica a lot.
Okay, look.
I just wanna know why you ignore me. I just wanna know why you making me all day.
See
I just
how
wanna
they're
let you
sewing
know
it
that
in?
it's killing.
Oh no! I gotta.
Oh, the music.
Yeah. So look. So let's start over. Oh wait. So you see how? Hold on. Can I rewind this here? Okay. So look. Okay. So that's her hair, right? That's what Jessica. That's what their hair relaxed looks like.
Yeah, I see.
So they braid it, and then they moisturize it. You see how they're sewing it in? Literally sewing it in with string.
It's so much fakery. It shows their laziness, They'd rather fake it instead of doing the effort to be beautiful,
And look at her dancing around like, woo! Because
I got fake hair.
So my ex-wife, she never looked happier than when she got her weave sewn in. Like she never looked happier. She just had this smile on her face and be flipping her hair around. I'm just like, oh my God. Hey, yeah. Let me see if there's any. Yeah. So watch. And then they literally take the hair and they sew. You see how there's a track, and they literally sew it in.
Disgusting.
Yep. Yeah. See, look.
Who told them to do that? No man would like
And remember,
to.
guys, remember they got the hair from sewers.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah, they get the hair from Indian women, Brazilian women. Yeah, man. It's crazy, dude. Yep. Freaking sorcery, man. I'm telling you. That's why American black women, it is so easy for black trans women to get away with being trans because black women are like modern ratchet black women they're just caricatures. They're literally cartoon characters.
You see, there was a video now. There's a viral video where a white German woman says that they have no competition from black women.
Yes. Oh yes. Yes.
And there's
I
been
watched
a
that.
big.
And the B-dubs got salty.
So mad. And
Yeah,
so
it's true though,
triggered.
man. I'm telling you. Yep. I like that story that Kevin Samuels told. He said in college was when he dated his first white girl, and he got sick and she's like, "Oh, you're sick. Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's fine." And like an hour later, he heard a knock on the door. He was sick as a dog. She came over to his house, washed the dishes in his sink, helped him clean up his freaking apartment, had orange juice, chicken noodle soup, put the orange juice in the refrigerator, put the chicken noodle soup on the freaking stove, hopped on top of him, took care of that for him, and then said, "Okay, we'll feel better," and left.
Yeah,
he's like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah. That reminds me. One of the most pleasurable things a woman can do is to serve someone. Serve them food, serve them.
And here's the thing, because I always find these women that ask freaking questions all the time. One of the worst things a woman can do is question a man all the time.
Yes. It shows rebellion, and it's something only a man would do. Yeah.
If you think I need a glass of water, just go get me a glass of water. Don't ask. If you want to make me food, don't say, "Hey, Doug and P, what do you want for dinner?" Just make me food and bring it to me. For women,
it shows. Yeah.
So what do you? Then not only that, there's this trap where women think they're being considered by asking you, giving you choices, but they're choices that they would make, not choices you would make.
Yes.
It's like this control mechanism, and it always puts you on the defense. And also, one last thing, I did a video on that term, weaponized
incompetence. Yeah.
Incompetence. Women will take over the home, right? And a guy will let him have it, and she'll tell a man what to do, or always ask him what he wants, removing his autonomy and his decision-making skills. So 4 or 5 years down the road, he's just sitting there waiting for her to ask him something, and she's like, "You never take initiative. You never do anything around here. It's because we got in the habit of you asking me questions all the time.
Yeah.
Ask me what I want."
So get to it.
For 5 years or longer. And one last thing about this household BS. Men never ask women to help them with their version of the household.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if you were to say, "Honey, you never helped me do the yard. Ever. I don't feel appreciated around here. You never helped me change tires, or freaking change the oil on the car, or freaking go get gas in the car. You never helped me with that." Men don't do that, but women.
Men don't do that.
It's crazy, guys.
And also, can you imagine coming home and the first thing your wife does is she brings you a beer without you asking? Wouldn't that be a show of love?
You know what?
I appreciate that.
You know what? This is where I'm gonna give AJ credit. He's the type of women that he normally gets with, he always finds those kind of women. Always. And he has a really good dating history where he always finds women like that. And I asked him, how does he do it? Because I always attract these women that are savages in bed. Savages. Yes. Beautiful. But they freaking set the rest of my life on fire. I'm like, what? When we're in my house or we're sleeping together, everything's fine. But then, I'll bring a woman like around my friends or around AJ or something, and he's just like, "Doug and PA, you got another one." And I'm like, "Dude, I know." I can't help it. He always finds the stable ones. He always finds the sane, stable ones. I always find the freaking crazy, pretty ones that I told you. When we're at our house or I'm sleeping with them, everything's fine. But every other part of my life is set on fire. It's crazy, man. I know. I should figure out why I always attract those women. God.
on like minimum wage. And the things that I used to do to just like, especially when you first enter into like the field of marketing, and when you're taking your entry level jobs, you're not making money at all. So, eating 1 meal a day, living with parents, all types of shit that I was just like, no way in hells would I be doing with my degree. I was just like, no, that's not a thing. And those were some of the sacrifices that I had to make to make sure that my student loans are paid. This is just me thinking about some.
What's that?
I said she says words and she does the opposite of what she just said,
Yeah.
She said also, I want to be sure that my student loans get paid. And the title is 100,000 in student loan debt. Someone explain her what's mean,
Exactly.
Something that's real, something that is impacting a lot of people in their decisions.
See, that's her real hair right there. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You see it?
Oh, okay.
That's fake. That's real.
So yeah, I just wanted to share. And again, I hope this is helpful for someone. And
you do not provide any useful information.
Yep.
Just wind.
In fact, let's see.
Therapy is shiny like like a mug.
So that's her real hair, but just like relaxed.
Do a video about.
Yeah, let's not. Okay, so we're gonna do the crime files, and then we're gonna wrap this up because I didn't do it at the beginning. But yeah. So remember the woman.
Doug find the most degenerate set of people.
It's true, man. It's true. So you remember the woman? I did a story on my channel about the woman who this woman. Okay, this B-dub pulled up into the drive-thru of a Church's Chicken. Got in an argument with another B-dub that worked at the Church's Chicken. The woman in the drive-thru parked in the parking lot and waited for the B-dub that she was arguing with to come out. She came out maybe for a break or something, and this woman shot and killed the woman.
Oh yeah, right. I remember now. Yeah.
So she turned herself in. So let's check this out.
Meanwhile, a week after a Memphis mother was gunned down at a fast food restaurant in Orange Mound, a suspect is finally in custody. MPD says 45-year-old Monica Williams turned herself in earlier today, days after a warrant was issued for her arrest for first-degree murder. Police believe Williams is the one who shot and killed Anitra West last Monday at the Church's Chicken on Park Avenue.
Look at that purple weave. Oh my God, you guys.
Will West worked.
He looks like a Borderlands character.
I know, right? Oh my God.
The shooting happened after the two got into an argument in the drive-thru over food. But we've since learned from the victim's family that West and Williams have known each other for years, and they believe the argument was personal in nature.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
That means they have personal beef.
Yeah.
Some dark secret was going on there.
Nug is in the mix.
I was just about to say that, man. Yep. They're probably sleeping with the same man or something like that. Or that woman was her new man's, I don't know, whatever. So she says that she wants her case thrown out for somehow.
Nope.
So let's see.
Look at her.
Yep.
Day two, and the woman accused of a fatal shooting at a Church's Chicken went back in front of a judge this Wednesday morning. Monica Williams is charged with first-degree murder for the fatal shooting that claimed the life of Anitra West. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. Following the attack, photos of the accused were released by police as they were trying to arrest her. Although the woman was seen on video, the defense is saying that may not be enough to move forward. WREG's Sarita Patterson explains why her attorney is trying to get the case thrown out.
Monica Williams, a first-degree murder suspect, was escorted back into Judge Bill Anderson's courtroom Wednesday. The 45-year-old spoke briefly with her attorney, Scott Hall.
I have been retained.
She is accused of shooting to death Anitra West while the victim was at work at this Church's Chicken in Orange Mound last week. This all stemmed from an argument detectives explained in this affidavit. However, her attorney says is what you don't see in the report that he could capitalize on.
Reviewing the affidavit, I haven't seen any list of witnesses on this case, so we may be also making a motion to dismiss.
This case has garnered a lot of attention, sitting 5 rows away from Will.
And of course, guys, it's Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee is has been the murder capital of the United States, like freaking 5 years running or something like that.
Williams were half a dozen of her family members.
Look at Wait a second, hold on. Look at this lineup.
Where is the father? Do you see a father or a male?
Come on, man. You know the
There's no
answer to
father,
that
man.
question already.
There's just straight women, just women all around, and one son.
Auntie and Nana and
Yeah. Nene.
Chulu.
Nene.
Yeah. Shaniqua. Buniqua.
Yeah.
Boom Shika. Yeah, man. There you go.
Her family members. Williams, who has mostly appeared unemotional, could be seen wiping away tears before pulling down her mask, smiling, mouthing words, and finally giving her family an okay hand gesture. But District Attorney Steve Mulroy says nothing about this case is okay.
Ordinary disputes, ordinary beefs that would have just been at most a shoving match are now fatal. And it means we need tougher gun laws, but it also needs we to be extra vigilant on bringing these people to justice.
Mulroy also addressed the defense's claim about any possible lack of witnesses.
It is not unusual for us to get convictions based on video surveillance evidence, even if there are no actual live witnesses.
As you heard Defense Attorney Hall say, he may move to have this case dismissed, but the operative word there is may. That has yet to be seen. What we do know for sure is a bond hearing is set to happen inside this courtroom Monday. We'll certainly keep you updated. Reporting for your news leader inside the CJC, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
Defense.
Yeah, she's cooked, man. She's cooked.
Can you imagine the case being dismissed? Meaning, let's say it's your mother who happened to be the victim, and the case is dismissed. You know, where's the justice?
Yeah.
No, she ain't walking away. I'm sure about that.
Yeah, there's no way, man. There's no way. Like they have all that video evidence, witnesses and stuff. There's no way, man. Like, and she's gonna have to figure out a way to get the charge down from first degree. Because remember, first degree murder is the worst charge you could possibly get when it comes to taking somebody out. The worst.
Yeah, it calls you needs premeditation and stuff like that. No, I mean,
yeah, because she sat there outside the church of chicken for God knows how long. Yeah, man, it's not worth. Let me tell you guys, nothing's worth my freedom. Nothing. No way. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up because we're getting up to 3 hours. So women in this whole debt journey thing. Colin, final words.
Only a woman could call it a journey.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, Pyro.
Yeah, all I can say is the debt these women have is like a giant house with with a chain that, like, do you know the chain ball?
Yeah, ball
in the
chain.
cartoons, like when they have out their foot so they can't run away.
Yeah.
Just imagine that house size. They're never getting away from that. They're gonna have to own up to it.
Even worse, Pyro. Remember, it costs $278,000 to raise a kid from 0 to 18 in the United States. So you have a whole kid in debt. A whole child. That optometrist that has 2 kids, she has a third one. It's a student loan debt.
That means like she have like $1 million in total. She's spending.
Yep, on children. Yep. Jessica, what do you think? Final words.
I mean, like your like AJ is saying, like women are always the victim or the hero of their own story, but in the end, they're the ones who create themselves in such bad positions. And I think the problem is that it's always the single moms who remove the father. That there's no guidance, and they end up in these journeys, which end nowhere. I mean, it's very sad. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, this is my favorite thing to talk about is women student loan debt. It never ends because, guys, remember, I spent a lot of time in the DC area. I just left, and I go on dates with women and be sitting across from women in real life, $150,000, $200,000 in student loan debt. And like once they say that, I can't even, like everything they say after that, I can't even hear them. I'm like, what? Yeah. And Washington, D.C. is one of those expensive places to live. So all these women are going to live in a condo or like an apartment for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
and
it's very sad.
like, yeah. And the sad part about it is it's also changed the dating game because women want to live a lifestyle, but they can't afford it because of their student loans and housing. So the stakes for dating are even higher because they want to go to that nice restaurant, but they can't afford it themselves. So you're gonna have to pay for it. Who you taking out on a date?
Yeah, but that's not how it works. I mean, I don't think men will tolerate this behavior, mostly because the fact that women nowadays, they bring nothing to the table. So back in the days, maybe it was worth it, but now, no, not really.
You're gonna have to bring a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna see if I might go live. I'm definitely gonna be live on Sunday. I have something for work tomorrow that's gonna take a whole day. So if I can do some research, I'll do a show Wednesday. But I'm gonna go live on Sunday for sure. Whiteout, Steve M, Reiji Gamer, banned from the Republic of Palau. Who else? Conquering Wanderer. Who else was in here? MGTOW Cowboy, Raymond, thoughts and mine. Everyone, thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. This is my first live back in like 2.5 weeks, but I'm back to the regular schedule. So I may see you Wednesday, but I'll definitely see you Sunday. And have a good night, everyone. Okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
See you soon, man. See you everybody soon.
All right. Bye.